Slash and Burn is a podcast about fanfiction. It is filled with loud swearing and explicit sexual description. It is not for children, nor the weak of stomach, nor will. Although we attribute to authors as best we can, we have no legal rights to the written works we discuss, nor the characters and universes upon which they are based. We also firmly believe that as long as what you're doing isn't hurting anyone else, whatever you do to get your jollies is all well and good. Join us and have some laughs over the world of fanfic. And seriously, this shit is filthy. You've been warned. Welcome. I'm taking my shirt off because it's too damn hot.
He sure is.
Yep. Unbuttoning all the buttons. How are y'all doing? It's okay, you don't have to answer that. It was rhetorical. Although if you want to act all Dora the Explorer watching and respond, I can pretend like you responded. Ready, go. Oh, that's great. How are you doing, Kara?
I'm fine.
Cool.
You feel better now that your shirt's off?
Yeah, totally. Now I'm down to only 5 shirts. But I am wearing. So what?
Funnier than it should be. I'm sorry.
So what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. You know, working on getting the house ready for a baby in 60 days.
And a whole bunch of other shit that absolutely does not need to be done for a baby.
It does need to be done for a baby.
Your baby does not need fucking light sconces.
What? You're really stuck on those sconces.
I really am. This should not be in an emergency baby preparedness list.
To be fair, it's called the baby panic list.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Either of those. Should be on neither of those lists. Should be on bullshit we can do anytime within the next 10 years
baby
list.
sconces in the living room. It's necessary. What have you been up to?
I stopped playing Dead Man's Cross long enough to record this.
Yes.
And I
Not
saw,
long enough to eat dinner.
No, and I saw 2 films today. I played very little Dead Man's Cross during those. Yeah, today I saw The Green Inferno, which was good, but not nearly as gross as it was supposed to be.
So not as bad as our War podcast.
No, not as bad as the War podcast.
Nothing ever will be.
Also less funny than our War episode. And then we watched Everest, which was 100 times more disturbing than the cannibal exploitation movie.
Also less funny than our podcast.
Also less funny than our podcast. I have a pretty high opinion of our podcast.
Yeah, me too. I think we're hilarious.
It was sexier than our podcast, though, because it totally had Jake Gyllenhaal and Kera Knightley in it, and Robin Wright.
Sex, though.
I know.
Like, we literally read sex.
I know, but have you seen Jake Gyllenhaal lately?
Yeah.
He is just sex incarnate.
That's fair.
Yeah. Speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, he will make a cameo in one of my stories.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Which is weird, because our theme tonight is...
Our theme tonight is Femslash.
It is. After crying out for fan feedback, we finally got some.
Yes.
It
was very exciting. We all partied.
We ran around the room with our hands waving above our heads and stuff. So big thanks to Hayley for sending us our first ever fan mail. It was very appreciated, even though I was a super procrastinator in getting back to her. I finally did get back to her last night. But she brought up a point and brought up to us her favorite genre of fan fiction. And both because I thought she brought up a good point, and also as a thank you to our first confirmed fan.
We have a fan, everybody. It's not even someone we know.
We decided to focus today's episode on it entirely. And so that's Femslash. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people what Femslash is?
It's basically just lady on lady.
Right.
Steve was confused about it.
I thought that the term... The term seems more loaded than that, but I don't know why I feel that way, you know what I mean? Fucking siren, why die on your own time?
You don't even live in a city. We are in the middle of the woods.
I know. We're trying to record a podcast, person with heart attack.
We are literally in the middle of the woods. I'm looking at trees, or I would be if there was sun out, but there isn't. But I know they're out there.
But yeah, so...
It's just like regular Slash, but with ladies.
So Hayley in her email brought up the fact... she brought up a lot of facts and gave us some very... detailed examples of stories that she enjoys and why. I've been reading one of them quite a bit, which is a Dragon Age story, actually. Holy shit, is it involved. You know how we talk about those epics?
Yeah.
This is a fan fiction epic. Holy Christ.
Some of them are really long and in-depth and good. but we don't talk about those
No.
here.
So part of the reason that she thinks, and when she brought it up, I think that so little Femslash has come up on the show so far is because it's such a drop in the bucket of the overall fanfiction landscape. Now I'm going to take off another one of my shirts to reveal my gender bias t-shirt that I'm wearing and say that I think that's because the majority of fanfiction, erotic fanfiction anyway, I imagine is written by women, and the majority of women who write erotic fanfiction aren't as into girl as they are guy or girl or space alien fungus or like any of the other pairings that you can possibly come up with.
I think that is.
Do you agree?
I think that is pretty sexist. I don't necessarily know that it's that as much as, and I want to get into this further when we get along.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a hard time finding anything to make fun of because
Right.
like most of it's actually like well written and reasonable.
Yeah, and after we read some examples, I want to get
people
back to
who
that.
are into and writing Femslash are just like smarter than
They're just better than everyone else. And
yeah.
it sounds like I'm being sarcastic. I'm
No.
not actually.
I was like, oh, like these people like each other and are having physical relations because they like each other and they're doing it in a way that makes sense and is well written. I can't do anything with this.
This isn't a visual medium, so you can't see it, but I am nodding
He is.
emphatically
His chair
as
is rocking,
she's saying those
actually.
things. Yeah, you might hear my leather screaming.
What? You kind of like the scariest chair.
So anyway, yeah, I think the fact that just there's so little of it in the first place is part of it, and the second part of my theory is exactly what Kira said. I think that most of it, at least from the examples that I saw, was so much better written than most of the shit that we bring up on this show.
Right.
That we just haven't tripped over awkwardness.
It's something
into
we would
these
open up and
stories.
be like, oh wait, this is too good to be on this show, never mind.
Right. But another part of it, I think, is, again, just that there isn't so much of it. And one of the first things that I found when I started looking at stuff was, this was a 2013 survey done on Archive of Our Own by user Toasty Stats. He or she compiled a list of the fandoms that have the highest number of Femslash titles, or the highest percentage of Femslash titles. So I'm going to read off the top. Did you see this when you were
No,
looking
I
for
didn't.
stuff? Okay. So I'm going to read off a couple of these just for posterity. Number 1, women's soccer RPF.
Oh.
I wasn't sure what RPF was. We'll get to that a little bit later. That is 94% F/F.
I mean, that makes sense.
Exactly. Women's Murder Club, which is apparently a television show.
Oh.
Never
Never heard of it.
Guiding Light, which I think is one of those soap operas that has been on the air for 70 years. It's either that, or for a second I thought it was the one where the angels help people with everyday problems.
That's
but
what I thought initially too, but I think that's something else.
I think that's Touched by an Angel.
Yes, yeah.
Right. But Guiding Light made me think of that. Rosolian Isles, who I think we've brought up on the show before for some reason.
I feel like yes.
Famous only because it gets referenced all the time as Two Lady Cops. It was also what I believe to be the subject of my first ever published on Stop Podcasting Yourself Overheard.
Yes.
The show Lady Cops. Damages, which is another television show.
Never heard of that either.
I believe that is the one that stars Glenn Close, and I think has a largely female cast, and it's about people who deal with crises, like a public relations firm. Bomb Girls, which was one of the attempts a couple of years ago to cash in on the, hey, Mad Men is really popular, let's do a whole bunch of other shows that are set in other time periods. It was about ladies who worked making bombs and stuff during the 40s, during the Second World War. I think it was canceled really quickly, but this survey was done in 2013, so it's showing up there.
Also, I think that's the thing that happens with fan fiction is that people catch on to something that's like really obscure and small and like just build their own world around it. So. And
the less stuff there is to go off of, the more that they can create their whole fantasy empire around it. Number 7, Mallory Towers' Enid Blyton. No idea what the fuck that is.
Do not know.
Number 9, Desperate Housewives TV show.
I've never seen it.
Filled with ladies. I saw some of it when my wife was watching it. Bionic Woman, another show. Pitch Perfect 2012 film, the one about the women who sing.
Oh yeah, I remember we saw the preview for the new one, and I was like, I'm offended?
That was the feeling a lot of people had about it, apparently. Although I heard it was actually better than you would think. The Hollows, Kim Harrison. No idea what that is.
I came across that a lot when I was researching.
Really?
And I was like, what is this? I didn't click on them because I don't know what it is.
Takarazuka Review, RPF. Don't know what that is. Blighton Enid. No idea what that is. Orphan Black, which is a television show, and I actually know what that one is. Gymnastics, RPF. Also makes a fair bit of sense. Victorious, which I believe is a Nickelodeon show about a girl named Victoria. Seems kind of gross. Lost Girl, Valkubus, Birds of Prey, which is apparently a TV show. Warehouse 13, which is a sci-fi original television show.
I think Dustin talked about it.
Kim Possible.
Oh.
Wicked. The Good Wife, another TV show. Pretty Little Liars. So most of these seem to be television shows with women in the starring roles, which again kind of makes sense. Sucker Punch, 2011 film, is on here. The Closer, another lady-centric television show. Anything else in here that's really interesting? Disney Princesses. Another Wicked. Adventure Time.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I really should have looked those up.
I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't come across any of those by accident.
Final Fantasy 13, notably, I had the first notice my voice is going up because I'm not 100% certain. Mainstream Final Fantasy title to be helmed by a mainly female protagonist, which means she's not mostly a female. I mean, it was mostly helmed by a protagonist who was female.
She's mostly
so that makes sense. Final Fantasy 13 series also appears on here.
What is FF13
was the one with lightning?
Okay,
yes,
all right. We played that for like 20 minutes.
I played it for about 25 hours. It was pretty good. But yeah, so there you go. So that's where most of the Femslash occurs. It seems to be mostly TV shows that star ladies.
And again, that is a good reason why it hasn't shown up here, because that's not any of the
fandoms that we've done, really.
Mostly because I have no idea what most of those things are.
We should really do Adventure Time soon, though.
Yes.
Make a note. I think that would be a fucking blast. But we got some examples for you.
It might be awful and ruining, though.
I doubt it. Didn't ruin 07. Don't think it's going to ruin Adventure Time.
That's fair. It kind of ruined Sonic. I can't look at Sonic the same way anymore.
I don't feel that way. No one has ruined Sonic more than Sega for the last 15 years. So
snap.
Damn. We got some examples for you. I think I have more examples than you do.
I have 4, and I don't like. None of them are very bad. So
I think we're gonna go through stuff a little quicker this week than we normally do.
I said I think this is gonna be less funny, but more mind expanding. I don't know.
So the first one that I have is Marie and Patty. It's by Bakagaijin30 on fanfiction.net, which as a username is either the best or worst username.
Can it be both?
There's nowhere in between, and it can't be both. Fucking Gaijin. So we've all had a lot of sexual fantasies about the Peanuts gang, right?
No! Not even a little bit!
I think you're lying to yourself.
Super not!
So this one is about Peppermint Patty and Marcy. Take it back. It should have been Marcy and Peppermint Patty. I realized I left the R out of it, but it's not Marie. It doesn't make any sense. Marcy and Patty by Bakagaijin30 on fanfiction.net. Most of that retraction was just so I got to say Bakagaijin30 on fanfiction.net a second and not a third time. But anyway, I think we've all been there, fantasizing sexually about the Peanuts gang.
Absolutely.
If I have to clue you in on what Peanuts is, by the way.
I think you should probably just turn off the internet and go home.
Yeah, probably. So I'm not going to. If you don't remember, though, Marcy and Peppermint Patty were Peppermint Patty was the tomboy, and Marcy was the girl who was very clearly infatuated with her, and what was probably a lot of people's first exposure to a closeted lesbian relationship in popular culture. Even though I don't think that Charles Schultz ever straight up came out and said that was the case, but it's been insinuated in a lot of ways, since such is the story. Seriously, though, Patty finally answered after she stopped laughing. I haven't seen Chuck in a while, not since he started dating that redheaded girl from his class. Oh, Marcy whispered, I'm sorry. Patty took a deep breath. Nah, it's okay. We've all sort of started drifting off, though, haven't we? Linus doesn't hang out as much now that he's finally started dating Sally, and of course, ever since Lucille and Schroeder became inseparable, her voice drifted off a bit as she brushed a few stray brown bangs from her hair. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised about Chuck and that red-haired girl, though, should I? So, this It doesn't explicitly say this straight out, I don't think, but we can guess that this is slightly time shifted.
I was going to ask you, does it say
From the
how old they
period.
are? Because, like, I really need to know
I don't
that.
think that it does. Maybe it did, but I mean, we got to guess at least junior high here, if not
Can
high school.
Yeah, like, please, let's just go with
Let's say high school, just
Yeah,
so we
let's-
all feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Let's just say it's illegal in most states.
Right. Marcy looked over at her friend. Sir? Well, let's face facts, Marcy. I'm not exactly classically pretty, am I? I'm a tomboy with freckles who plays baseball better than most of the boys on my team.
They all look exactly the same.
That's not true.
It's super true. They've
They've
just
all got very round heads
They've just got
and
different
stout
hair.
bodies.
They've just got different hair and clothes.
And clouds of stuff.
That's one person. You can't be defined by your cloud, Steve.
I'm pretty sure that Pigpen is.
I guess you're right.
I mean, his name is Pigpen, for
Fair
Christ's sake.
point.
And that redhead wears lipstick and dresses and just looks and acts the part of a girl better than I can, she said sadly, as a cloud looking very much like a whale came between the two girls in the sun.
What?
I get it. I'm just reading it. I didn't write it, lady. I guess I'm not the kind of girl who gets asked out or sent flowers from admirers, you know? Marcy didn't answer. She was too fixed on the tone of melancholy resignation in her friend's voice. Silently, she got up and walked away, leaving Peppermint Patty alone once more with the grass beneath her and the clouds above.
When my friend is melancholy, I always am like, yeah, out.
Fucking stone cold, right? We've all sort of started drifting off, Patty repeated, her whispered words drifting off with the breeze. She was about to get up and head for home, when a hand holding a small group of wildflowers plucked from behind the dugout came into view.
Aww.
For you, sir. Patty's eyes quizzically drifted from the hand, clutching the flowers up the arm to Marcy's face. Marcy, what? She was cut off as, without warning, her best friend gently kissed her on the lips. Peppermint Patty's eyes widened in shock and disbelief. The kiss was little more than two lips touching and lasted only the briefest of seconds.
Just tulips?
Like, yeah, that'd be hard to pull off, right? Well, I guess if you want top bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, you just like,
We're, like, really awkward,
you just
like-
suck on their upper lip. Little more than two lips touching and lasted only the briefest of seconds. Yet for the tomboy, time seemed to briefly stand still. As their lips separated, Marcy couldn't help but smile at her friend's reaction as she tenderly placed the flowers in Patty's hand and lay back down next to her. You know, sir, she said as the whale cloud now moved out of the way, once more allowing the sun to shine down on both her and Patty. I've wanted to do that for years now, ever since we were younger. Patty was at a loss for words. As everything around them once more seemed to drift off into a silent calm, she looked more at the handful of wildflowers as the breeze blew their delicate scents her away. Okay. She lightly touched her lips where her friend had just kissed her. In her mind, she could still feel Marcy's soft lips, get a thesaurus, bro, barely brushing against hers. Turning her head...
That's not really fair. Like, we make fun of them when they use different words for things, and then we make fun of them when they keep using the same word for things. You can't win.
We gotta keep it fresh, though. It's you're damned if you do, or you're damned if you don't on Slash and Burn. In her mind, she could still feel Marcy's soft lips barely brushing against hers. Turning her head, she saw her friend silently looking up at the sky next to her. She knew her childhood friend well enough to see the signs of nervousness behind the seeming calm. Finally, after several more minutes of tense quiet, passed between the two, Patty reached out and took Marcy's hand in hers. You're weird, Marcy, she finally said. She interwove her fingers through those of her friend, but in a good way. Marcy looked over at her, a wide smile gracing her pretty face.
I liked wild better. It's like picturing a really creepy. Like...
That's just going up and down on different sides. Thanks, sir. They both gazed at one another happily, Marcy admiring Patty's freckles, goofy-looking grin, and tomboyish looks, while Patty couldn't help but wonder why she'd never noticed how cute her friend was behind her glasses. Finally, hand in hand, they looked up, turning their situation back to the whale cloud. I made that last part up. They just said clouds, but they were so focused on the whale cloud before, I feel like it was incorrect to not talk about the whale clouds.
Okay.
Again.
All right.
So that's the end, and that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was. See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we found a couple things to make fun of in there, but basically it was just a cute story.
Yeah, really. But it was pretty sweet and non-sexual and written well, and I think it kept the characters in character, right, which is one of my pet peeves if you've been listening before. None of this was unbelievable in terms of the characters of the universe.
That's because there really isn't that much to the universe. Like, it's not like...
Right, but I mean, the characters, they felt... It wasn't like a weird deviation from them, you know what I mean? And they also weren't, like, blasting laser guns at Martians or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they were lying on a baseball field.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was fun.
And they mentioned the little red-haired girl and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so keep that in mind, because we're going back to that, well, this was reasonable an awful lot tonight, I think.
I have that feeling as well.
So why don't you go ahead with one?
Okay, let's see here. What one should I use first? Like, again, there's not like a whole scale of like, I'm gonna get incrementally
You're
more
going to be ramping
horrifying.
up? Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of, I think I'm gonna save that one for a little while. I think I'll go with this one. It's only 636 words, so I think I'll just read the whole thing. Like
Go for it. I did not read the whole thing. I actually.
Oh, you did?
Out,
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also wasn't super long.
This one is on fanfiction.net, and it is called Once by Daydream Believer 1.
Wants, W-A-N-T-S, or Once, O-N-C-E?
No,
The
the
dubs?
W one, yes.
Dubs.
And this is Rugrats / All Grown Up. Right? So I clicked on it thinking, this should be appalling.
So I never watched Rugrats All Grown Up. I watched Rugrats.
Oh, I was
going to
say, I think you're lying to me.
What age range were they in
Well, it doesn't matter because this goes through like several different age frames. So it's
okay.
Yeah, it's not important. So basically, this is just going through a couple different ages of Angelica and what she wants out of life. Like, for example,
wow.
Yeah, when she was 3, she wanted a Cynthia Dream Magic Fairy Castle.
Who doesn't?
And she got it because it was what she wanted, and they, spoiled her.
Because she's a spoiled bitch?
Yeah. Hey, I always kind of related to her.
You don't say.
That's fair. I'll take it. But, okay, so here, this was the only thing that stuck out at me that was weird, because it says, the screams died down a little over an hour later about her not being able to get it, because she didn't get it at first. Drew wanted a bath, his massage oils, which Angelica had used the week before to bathe Fluffy, and his brother, which brought up a whole host of issues he wasn't planning on facing for a long time. What? Drew
is her dad?
Yes.
And she bathed Fluffy and Drew's brother?
No! He's just thinking about things he wants. But, it's just this sentence. Apparently, yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, the whole rest of the story is just about what Angelica wants, but then that weird sentence was in there, and that's the only thing that threw me about this one. But anyway, when Angelica was 6, she wanted a boyfriend. Kelly, who babysat her occasionally, had a boyfriend. He was a senior and could play the piano, and fixed her Cynthia
piano
dream car.
Not a guitar?
No.
All right, whatever.
Harold said that he would be her boyfriend. Angelica quickly decided she no longer wanted one, but that did not stop everyone in kindergarten from singing Harold and Angelica Sitting in a Tree. Jenny, who was the first to start singing, went home that day in tears and never made eye contact with Angelica again. When Angelica was 12, she wanted a boyfriend again, but that was only because Harriet, whose hair was no way near as shiny as Angelica's, had one. What Angelica really wanted was Susie Carmichael. Susie Carmichael's hair was not as shiny as Angelica's hair, but that did not matter. Susie was as close to perfect as someone could get without being Angelica. Susie's skin looked like chocolate. It tasted bland, and Angelica couldn't help but be disappointed. If you are at 12...
You're licking your friends.
And being disappointed, then I think you've got a bigger problem. But anyway...
How mentally damaged is she? She thinks that just because her friend has black skin that it's going to taste like chocolate.
Her mouth was much more promising. It tasted of chocolate chip cookies, homemade double chocolate
now that's
chip.
racist.
Angelica's favorite. The next day, Angelica still wanted a boyfriend to show up that annoying Harriet, but Susie refused to pretend to be a boy. Angelica wasn't too disappointed she had Susie. Harriet only had stupid Timothy. When Angelica was 22, she finished her degree in political science and entered an exciting world of politics. Susie had another 2 years till she became a fully accredited doctor. 4 years later, Angelica had browbeaten every senator she needed to pass her law. When Angelica was 27, she was engaged to Susie Carmichael. They spent the ensuing 6 months arguing over whose name would go first. When Angelica was 28, she married Susie. It had been planned to exact detail. The wedding was going to be perfect even if it killed her. She didn't want anything else for 2 whole months, when what she really wanted was the latest widescreen Panasonic LCD television. Susie was happy with the television they had. What she really wanted was a baby. 1 year later, they had both. That's the end.
It's rather abrupt.
So yeah, I was expecting to be horrified, and instead I was just like, okay, well that is the story of how 2 people's lives went down for several years.
Yeah, I mean, except for the
weird brother
except
thing.
for the
Yeah.
and the blatant racism.
Oh, well, I guess it's okay because they were kids? I don't know.
So
okay.
So when is it not cool to be racist, right?
Ever.
You can
From
well,
birth.
now, there's a certain point up until it's acceptable in kids because they don't know any better, and there's a certain point where you're so old that everyone's like, "Oh, Grandpa."
No, I'm never.
So what?
I've stopped being like that. I started calling him out on it.
I mean,
and let
sure.
me tell you, it's great and hilarious. Because you're just like, why is that funny? Like, you just look blankly in their eyes like you super don't get it. And they sputter and try to think of a way to explain it that doesn't make them the worst human being in the world. And they can't. And then they just walk away. And you feel a little better about yourself. And also a little worse.
See, you're counting on whomever you're confronting with this to have A, shame, and B, shame that's centered around anything other than Catholicism.
See, but I think you're wrong. Because I think any person who isn't like an out-and-out on-purpose racist, if you ask them to explain why a funny racist joke that they told is funny, they will catch themselves and realize that they don't know how to explain it without being a terrible raging racist, and so they just stop.
But see, I don't think so. I've never.
But I'm telling you, it happened to me.
But
Try it.
If I tried that on my grandpa, I would bet you $1,000.
What's he gonna say to you?
Would react. He would explain very matter-of-factly why he thought it was funny.
That he's an on-purpose racist. I'm saying I don't think most people I know are on-purpose racists.
But grandpas, I don't know.
Dude, my grandfather is as old as the hills.
I think mine's pretty old too. Anyway, I don't know how we got on this tangent exactly.
Wow, yeah, okay. Anyway, racist grandpas aside, it's never okay for kids to be racist.
There's a racism born of innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is. Like, say your kid's like...
This is getting real dangerous, isn't it?
Say your kid's like 4, and he's like, and he like asks why, why Mark's skin is like black and his skin is like white. Like that's not
That's
you know
not
what I mean?
racist. That's just asking a question.
I mean, it's kind of racist because if I came to you and asked why Mark's skin was black and not...
I would wonder where you had been living all your life, but I don't think that I would consider it racist.
I don't know. It's so much fun to call things racist, though.
No.
Yeah, no, it
I
totally
mean,
is.
A little bit,
yeah,
but...
exactly. Anyhow.
Probably cut all that.
Nope. Welcome to the Racecast.
We're two very white
We're
people.
two privileged white folk. We're going to talk about the plight of others. Google's who is having a lot of plight in 2012. One of my favorite tweets ever. Anyhow, it's no Smash McDouble, but it's close. Speaking of Smash, watch me segue. My second story is called What Happens in Smash, ellipsis, Chapter 2. This is by Guardian Bell on Archive of Our Own. So, Super Smash Brothers, Nintendo-based fighting game where there's all kinds of Nintendo characters beat each other up and whatnot. Now, one of the interesting things about Super Smash Brothers is it doesn't take itself hell of seriously. So there's joke characters inserted into it sometimes. The most recent edition had inserted as a jokey character the Wii Fit Trainer. It was an actual playable character in Super Smash Brothers Wii U. And 3DS, I guess. So, yeah, Wii Fit Trainer is I keep wanting to say amorphous, but she's not amorphous. She's a shapely lady, but she also has no face and is just a white silhouette. And she walks you through...
That's like super creepy, really.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And she walks you through all the different body contortions that you're supposed to be doing when you're doing yoga on your Wii Fit balance board or whatever.
Yeah,
And she was added as a fighter in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Or not Brawl, Super Smash Bros. Wii U. And what caught my eye on this one is that it is Palutena X Wii Fit Trainer, which was a very interesting...
Does she even have lips?
No, she does not.
Is that addressed in the story?
No, it is not. But so picturing all this in my head was a lot of fun. Thanks for helping me with my training. Palutena trailed off as she walked into the training room, the woman she was addressing following closely behind. Just call me Misfit, the fitness trainer said. And I'm glad I can help. I'm just wondering how much I can help someone who's already a goddess, literally. It does have A in there twice.
Oh, okay.
She chuckled. Okay, so the main reason I picked this one is that it stars We Fit Trainer, and I already went over this, and I wrote this after the opening, the intro paragraph in the thing, so disregard everything you already heard, or don't, because I'm going to stop reading the rest of it. Our editor, boy, do I make his job hard.
You really do. I mean, I get to hear him complain about it.
Anyway, here she is totally getting on with Palutena. Oh, come on now, Palutena said with a smirk. You had to have known where this was headed. Don't think I didn't notice you checking me out. Well...
Does she have eyes?
No.
Okay.
I know, right? So, I mean, Palutena, to be fair, is a goddess. So she's probably got a lot of extrasensory, she's probably got a lot of powers that you and I as mere mortals don't. So she can tell when an eyeless silhouette being is checking her out or not.
Creeps me out. You remember that? Never mind. I was about to go off on a tangent.
No, go ahead. What the hell? At this point.
That episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark with the 13th floor and like all the people had no faces. That was like the creepiest one to me besides the Colvin episode. That's what this is making me think of. Anyway, cut all this.
Remember. Well, what can I say? We Fit Trainer stammered. Everything about your body is wonderful. Even as someone who puts her all into the pinnacle of fitness every day, I could never have a body like this. Well, I'm kind of a cheater because of the whole goddess thing, Palutena said with a smirk. But it's not like your body isn't wonderful, too. Wait, do you really mean that? Misfit said. Of course, you put so much effort into it, and it shows. Everything's just perfectly sized, Palutena said. Especially these, she said as she grabbed a handful of Misfit's left breast and squeezed, eliciting...
These is one breast.
Eliciting a low moan from the girl below her. Palutena had pinned her earlier in the training. So,
okay. But didn't they go into the dressing room?
No, the training room.
Oh.
Eliciting a low moan from the girl below her, Palutena licked her lips as if savoring the reaction. Although it'd be funnier if she clicked her lips. I don't think you can even do that.
That would be like really dry, I think.
Yeah, or you'd have to have them like bronzed. Then you could probably do it. Now, let's not delay this any longer. Kissing the woman again, this one lasting much longer and being much more passionate as she assaulted the fitness trainer with her tongue. Yeah, consent, man.
Man.
When she was finished there, she began a slow trail of kisses down We Fit Trainer. I know, I get...
That was also funnier than it should have been.
No, I think that's just as funny as it should be, honestly.
I just picture like brackets, like with...
But it's not. That's her proper name. With capitals on all three words.
Oh, man.
We Fit Trainer. It's on her birth certificate.
Beautiful. That laugh is probably going to be really loud and obnoxious on this recording. I apologize.
From her chin to her throat to what little chest her shirt exposed. She grabbed the hem of her tank top, yanking it up before Misfit can even react.
Question. Does Misfit wear a shirt at all?
She doesn't not... actually... I think I remember her not wearing anything, because again, she is
just
silhouette.
Shape. Yeah, okay.
There is a possibility she is wearing a sports bra that is a different color
than the rest of her shape. Okay.
But it's been a while since I played Wii Fit or Smash, unfortunately. Before Misfit can even react and adjust her arms properly to take the shirt off. You sure are eager. Palutena let out a small sheepish laugh at her comment before looking down at the trainer. Her chest was covered by a black sports bra that only exposed some of her cleavage. So again, I'm not sure if that's because of the way she normally appears or if that's
whether it's canon
created
or not.
within the... I'm being pointed at a... Oh yeah, she wears a blue shirt.
Looks like she wears a lot of clothes.
A blue shirt and black yoga pants?
Yeah.
It looks like.
She also has hair.
Yeah, she does have hair. She wasn't used to a girl being this plain, but after being with total freaks like Peach, it was a nice change of pace. After slipping that off of her, her breasts were finally exposed, her small dark nipples contrasting a tad with her extremely pale skin. Now, you'd think that being the rest of her, again, is just a whitewashed sheet.
She'd have pretty pale nipples. Or
no nipples at all, right? That would be my thought.
Like Tenchi.
Yeah, exactly. Extremely pale skin, but in a cute way. Her breasts were otherwise perfectly sized and shaped, with no mention of what perfectly sized and shaped happens to be. I guess just Palutena's ideal
right, yeah.
Of whatever that might be.
There is no perfectly sized.
Exactly, right? It's all a matter of opinion. Probably.
I don't
know. I'm sure someone's done a study.
I bet.
Like they have that perfect face or whatever. There's
Yeah.
the perfectly symmetrical face.
You mean the
your face?
ratio?
Yeah. Boy, there was a time where you could not go 3 days without bringing that up.
I still have it on my computer and I look at it from time to time.
Well, Misfit said nervously, indicating that Palutena had stared at her breasts a tad too long. Palutena smiled at the woman below her and said, "They're perfect," before diving right in to suckle one of them. The sudden attack, they're using a lot of very violent words.
I'll say. But, I mean, I guess it is like a training room situation, so...
That's true, they were beating each other up just before this. The sudden attack on her nipples released a sharp moan from the trainer. The pleasure only increased when Palutena's hand drifted to knead the other breast. That's knead with a K, not without a K. Although she probably needed it, too.
Clearly.
We Fit Trainer could...
Brackets.
Hardly. Hey, how about We Fit Trainer for our daughter's name, by the way?
No!
Yours? You want to go? I think that'd be pretty good.
No.
Nintendo would probably send you a bunch of stuff.
No, nope. I don't even own a Nintendo.
Oh, you could change that
I don't
very
wanna.
quickly.
I don't want to, though. I'm good.
We
PS for life.
Whatever. The console wars are stupider than racism. We Fit
Oh
Trainer
my
could.
God.
Yeah, no, they are.
Dude.
We Fit Trainer could hardly keep control of herself now, gasping and moaning as Palutena worked her magic. She involuntarily began to hump herself against Palutena's body.
Oh, okay. I thought it just ended there. I was like, that sounds difficult.
Against Palutena's body, causing Palutena to release her nipple from her mouth and smirk. Oh, who's getting a bit eager now? While one hand stayed focused on her breast, the other drifted down to the trainer's tight yoga pants. Tight yoga pants, rubbing and teasing at her pussy through the fabric.
Whoa.
Please, We Fit Trainer said through gasps and moans. Normally, Palutena would continue with the teasing, but this woman's general lack of experience compared to her made her reconsider it. Well, she's making a lot of calculations real fast in this, right?
Man.
Well, she's a goddess, after all. I suppose, again, her capacities are above ours. Well, since you asked so nicely, Palutena grabbed the edge of her tight, hip-hugging yoga pants the trainer wore regularly and tugged them down, pushing herself up off the woman so she could extend her lower half upwards, making it easier to get the pants off. We're running into one of the problems that you mentioned in a previous episode in male-male scenes, with her being the only pronoun, making things generally way more confusing than they would otherwise
and you can't even say the whatever-haired person because you're going to feel like the weird white silhouette raised her hips.
Only when her plain blue panties, which I guess are there to match her shirt, remained did Palutena immediately resume her position on top of her. Her mouth reclaimed her nipple. That's a great fucking use of the word right there. But her hand drifted down and began to rub and tease against the thin fabric covering her snatch.
Oh, no! Not in a sex scene!
Should snatch also not be used, just like crotch?
Yes.
You're anti-snatch?
Yeah, apparently. I don't read a whole lot of stories with lady parts in them, but yeah, I'm not into it. Good gracious.
Her moans resumed, only louder than ever this time. As Palutena's assault, again, continued, her rubbing against Misfit's panties became more... Yeah, see, now that's a word that I fucking can't stand.
Yeah, it's not great.
Became more and more vigorous until finally she decided to just slip her hand under the waistband and go to work against her bare pussy. The sudden and swiftness... That's what it says. Of the penetration caused We Fit Trainer to...
No!
Man, I'm so glad I chose this. To let out a moan that surely would have alerted the entire mansion of their activities if Palutena hadn't caught it with a kiss in time. Misfit had surely made a huge damp mess of her panties. God, look.
See, even you're grossed out.
It's the word panties. It's not any of the rest of it. By now, with the way Palutena was going, and her fingers were only getting faster and faster as her makeout session got more passionate.
I think this is beyond a makeout session. Just throwing that out there.
She could feel her orgasm coming on, which was almost disappointing because the last thing she wanted was for this to end. At last, see, they jumped from it being immediate to seeming like it was prolonged. Misfit came, her moans stifled by Palutena's kisses, her pussy gushing as Palutena's fingers drew out more and more of her juices, managing to...
I'm picturing her, like, scooping them out, like...
Putting them in a bucket. Hold on, wait.
No.
Drew out more and more of her juices, managing to completely ruin her panties.
That's
So evocative? I know.
Impressive. You do have washing machines, right? Like.
No, they're that ruined. They're forever unwashable. Palutena gradually slowed down her fingering as Misfit came down, pulling her fingers out to lick them clean. Palutena leaned into her close once again and whispered, "You taste so fucking good," before pulling back and sitting in a resting position. After a while of rest, Palutena piped up, "So, do you even have enough energy to pay me back, or am I just that good? Either's an acceptable answer, really." "Oh," Wii Fit Trainer muttered, completely forgetting that the goddess herself hadn't come yet. She said up, I'm going to guess I'm supposed to be sat, seeing that Palutena was so worked up that she was idly rubbing herself through her shorts. "You're so worked up, I guess there's no point in foreplay, huh?" Wii Fit Trainer asked sheepishly. Palutena simply shook her head in response. "Fine, lean up against that bench. I want your ass," Misfit said.
Whoa! Misfit!
Very forward of her.
Yeah!
And immediately blushed at something that uncharacteristically dirty coming out of her mouth.
Oh, okay. So we are
I know, yeah,
very surprised.
normally she's very squeaky clean and innocent, apparently. Palutena obeyed, crawling on all fours towards the bench and leaning herself against it. She shook her ass playfully, smirking back at the pale, mostly naked girl. See, I wouldn't even call her pale. Like, that's way beyond
She's
pale.
like literally white.
She's literally, yeah, exactly. After slipping out of her completely damp panties...
We get it! They're wet! They're ruined!
Point made. You don't have to keep going back to that well. Wii Fit Trainer crawled her way over and immediately began kneading her ass, again that's with a K, through the shorts. She wanted to cherish this moment. But Palutena cleared her throat and she remembered her promise of no foreplay. She pulled the shorts down, taking a moment to admire Palutena's perfectly rounded and shapely bare ass, before immediately beginning to rub her equally attractive, damp bare pussy from behind. The damp. They're really bringing that damp back, you know? Palutena let out a moan, her juices easily coating Misfit's finger. This is all well and good, but Palutena needed more. "If you're going to do that, you might as well eat me up," she began before she felt Misfit's tongue slowly drift up her underside from her pussy up to her comparatively untouched asshole.
Comparatively untouched? What does that even mean? Like, in this particular interaction or ever?
Or overall,
like, yeah.
right, yeah.
How can you tell?
Well, maybe the fact that it caught her up so much, you know what I mean? And lingering there. Oh my God, Palutena said, as her tongue began to swirl around her asshole as her finger returned to rub her pussy.
There's the
it's
hers again,
fucking
yeah.
pronouns, man. English is so...
Weird.
Stifled.
Restrictive.
Yeah. Stuck up. Palutena had to bury her face in her arms to keep from screaming as Misfit's finger finally entered her pussy and her assault on her ass only got faster, squeezing and slapping at her butt cheeks all the while.
Whoa.
She knew...
Man.
She knew she wouldn't last long at this rate. Palutena finally screamed so loudly that not even burying her face could contain it, as juices squirted in a clear stream onto Misfit's chest,
No!
causing her to blush. As she released her ass from her mouth and her pussy from her fingers, she collapsed onto the training room floor, Misfit lying gently down next to her and beginning to play with her long green hair. Finally, Palutena spoke. "Damn, you had more experience than I thought," causing Misfit to chuckle sheepishly. "I don't get a lot of time to do that back home, but when I do, I make sure to take advantage of what I know about the body. Maybe if we do this again, I can really show you what I know." "Well then," Palutena smirked up through her breathlessness. "Want to make this a regular thing?" "Sure, this time next week?" "I was thinking more this time tomorrow." "Eager. Shut up." The end.
Wow.
So there you go.
Man. That's way sexier than anything I have.
I know, right? And I was chasing that fandom on a larf just because I thought it would. I wasn't specifically looking for a Wii Fit Trainer.
Sure you were.
But when I saw it, I was like, yes.
You were like, finally, a reason to break out some of my favorite Wii Fit Trainer fanfictions.
Yeah. So that was pretty intense. They could have used a little more word variety, I think, but generally it was pretty well written.
But her panties were so damn.
Pretty sexy. They really were. They wanted the. It's like they hold a copyright on the phrase "damn panties" or something, and they they're making money every time it gets printed or something. So anyway, yeah, there you go. That's your white silhouette.
That was
quota for the week.
Good. I'm going to this one. I picked.
I don't think that was a sentence that you said.
No, it wasn't. This one I picked because it was a fandom that kept coming up a lot, which was Harry Potter. And
I didn't see any of those, but I guess
Really?
I was specifically... I basically picked a fandom that I thought would be interesting, and then I set it to
Okay.
explicit and FF to find
Gotcha.
examples.
I picked this one in particular because I thought the pairing was kind of weird, but, like, again, not, like, so weird that I was, like, you know, taken aback by it. Just,
Again, not a visual medium, so you didn't see her be physically taken aback, but she was.
recoiled. But, this one is on Archive of Our Own, and it's called Toy Testing by MM8. And the relationship in the story is Nymphadora Tonks and Ginny Weasley?
Nymphadora Tonks is... Oh, that's Tonks, okay.
Yeah. So...
And Ginny Weasley.
Yeah, right? So I thought that was odd.
Yeah, a little bit.
This one
What?
is...
I'm sorry, you might address this later, but what age is Ginny in
It doesn't
this?
say.
Okay.
So I'm just going to assume...
Are there
Old enough.
any Harry Potter storyline landmarks that we can gauge her age?
Tonks has a broken leg.
I don't remember.
But
when
that I
happened,
don't know either.
or if that happened.
I don't know either.
Well, spoilers. Fast forward 20 seconds if you haven't finished Harry Potter. Tonks is dead at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ginny
Or-
couldn't be more than.
But that's not necessarily true because I was kind of taking this to be just like a completely alternate
Okay.
timeline because none of this has anything to do with anything.
Okay, I mean that could be completely true. People play really fucking fast and loose with the rules of universes. If I've taken one thing away from my fanfiction experience thus far, it's that nothing that actually happened matters. People will just make up their own rules.
So I'm
anyway.
reading this assuming that it's an alternate timeline in which both of these people are consenting. legal age.
Yeah.
And this one is only 252 words, so I'm going to read
wow.
the whole thing. Yes.
That's a briefing.
Yeah. What the fuck is that thing? Tonks asks.
Now,
When-
hold on one second. I've seen every Harry Potter film. I've read every Harry Potter book multiple times. Never once does anyone utter that word.
Get ready to be taken out of the universe.
Okay.
Tonks asked when Ginny entered the room with a large red object. You got another toy, didn't you? Couldn't resist, Ginny smiled, already beginning to undress. Gin, I'm not in the mood right now, Tonks frowned, gesturing to her bandaged leg. I'm hurt, remember? The redhead wiggled her eyebrows suggestively. I can make it feel better. What are you, a healer now?
Gonna suck on her leg? What?
Of course, Ginny fastened the strap-on harness, standing before her lover with great confidence. Tonks blushed. Ginny seemed so in charge with the strap-on, like it was already a part of her body. She felt her cotton knickers beginning to get soaked.
Sorry.
Turn around, Ginny commanded, on all fours. Gin, my leg. We'll deal with the consequences later, honey. That grossed me out. I don't know.
The honey?
Yeah. You know how I feel about pet names.
Pet names?
With the exception of my own.
Just start calling him Wee Fit Trainer.
That was all Tonks needed to hear. She pulled down her skirt and knickers before she took her position on the couch. Her legs over the armrest. If you're wearing a skirt, why would you pull it down? Like, I think it's not part of the allure of having sex in a skirt is like
For some
flipping it
people,
up.
I guess.
I don't know. That's what I would have done, but again, I guess we're not talking about me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you have more experience with this than I do, probably. I don't think I've ever had sex in a skirt. Not that I can remember.
That's troubling. Ginny smacked Tonks's arse a few times, knowing how arousing it felt to her lover. Tonks arched her hips, needing more. Come on, stop
Is
playing.
that with a K or without a K?
Without a K. Come on, stop playing, Gin. Ooh. Without warning, Ginny had cast a quick lube spell and entered Tonks's pussy. Tonks began to moan, pinching her nipples as Ginny thrust in and out rapidly. Merlin, Ginny, she cried out as she came. Damn, that was fast. Ginny pulled out, tossing the strap-on aside, and kissed Tonks's back. You really enjoyed that toy, didn't you? All Tonks could do was weakly nod and let herself relax against Ginny's touch.
Oh, lube smell!
I knew you would enjoy that.
Oh, man.
I think that's ultimately why I decided to pick this one, because of the lube spell.
So,
I'm curious how that works. Like, does the lube appear inside where you want it, or did it just kind of like squirt out of her wand?
Sure,
like, I don't.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the main problems with the Harry Potter universe in general.
Just
is
the
that
magic's not
the
established
magic,
enough.
There's
Yeah,
no real definitions on how the magic works.
I 100% agree with you.
And I hate the use of wands and all that. Anyway, whatever. So my question is...
No mention of wands was made here.
No, although the strap-on could have been one.
That was
you
what
could
I was
get
gonna
that
suggest,
at. I'm sure there's a seedy porn version of Diagon Alley where you can go and get wand strap-ons and
I want to
whatnot.
read that story.
Yeah. Oh man, we should probably write that.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be
probably
pretty
should.
good. Man, how many millions of dollars could we make? Anyway.
Probably none.
So my question is, so you know how they've got the monitors from the Ministry of Magic that keep an eye out for when kids that are enrolled in school but are not actively in school, they're not allowed to cast spells.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're the kid, right?
That gets caught
and they show up at your door and they're like, "Oh, we caught Bobby casting a spell," and your mom's like, "Bobby," and she's like, "What spell is it?" And the guy from the Ministry of Magic gets all weirded out and stuff. And he's like, "Lube spell," and Bobby just runs crying from the room. Like that's, oh man, now I want to write that fic too.
Please write both. They can both be in the same.
They really
Bobby
can,
could just develop a lifelong fascination with the seedy underbelly of the magic world. I mean, once he learned that lube spell, he just never went back.
Mm-hmm. And then he ends up teaching sex magic classes at the whatever the porn Diagon Alley's version of the pleasure chest is on Wednesday nights. That's the universe I want to read.
I would read that story.
Oh my
Please,
God,
someone write this story for us. We'll read it in its entirety as a special episode.
We just want a 25% cut for giving you the idea. You can give the rest of it.
I really don't think there's any money in fanfiction.
That's Twilight.
Unless you turn it into a different...
Like that wouldn't be the most popular thing.
But how would you turn this into a different... Like, 50 Shades, she took all reference to, like, anything relating to Twilight out of it. How would you take everything relating to Harry Potter out of a story about magic sex?
The same way that I took the story that I was writing about our D&D campaign and removed all of the D&D specific elements out of it to make a generic magic fantasy universe.
Fair. All right. Point taken. Let's write that story and become rich. Okay.
Sounds good. In the meantime, my next selection is called Undercover or Under the Covers by Wefaguk94. That's WEFHGK. I don't know if
Is it Welsh?
I read something about a Welsh guy the other day, and it was a perfectly English article until the last 3 words where they described like where the guy grew up or whatever, and then there were like 7 out of 8 words were complete nonsense all in a row. Anyway, this was on Archive of Our Own. And so this is the first story that I ever picked. I think there was a crossover. So this, I went searching for Law & Order SVU stuff because it was one of the top listed things. And also because I thought it was interesting in that you would think that a fandom based upon a universe whose entire existence is predicated upon sex crimes and gross sex and bad sex and sex no do and all that kind of stuff would have a hard time translating into erotica, right?
No, I wouldn't think that.
Okay, fine. But what really brought me in was so there was a whole lot of stuff like characters that are actually together on the show or whatever. But I was looking for Femslash stuff, and of the like recurring characters on the show, I don't think any of them are in lesbian relationships that I can think of. But anyway, so this is a crossover with Olivia Benson, played by Mariska. Is it Mariska or do you call it Marissa? I don't even know. There's a K in there. Hargity from Law & Order SVU. Olivia Benson, and Alex Voss from Orange is the New Black, played by somehow even hotter with black hair than red hair, Laura Prepon.
Right? What's up with that?
I know, isn't that bizarre?
It's super bizarre.
I know, but she is.
Doesn't make any sense, but yes.
So Benson is getting drunk at a bar, and then as she's leaving the bar, she runs into a dark-haired stranger. Well, officer, I'm a bit drunk, so do you think you could help me home? Alex wasn't sure what tempted her to say that, and she knew it was risky, but hell, when wasn't something worth it a little risky?
What?
Okay, that makes sense. I just read it weird. But hell, when wasn't something worth it a little risky, right? They could have used some punctuation in there. Yes, Olivia agreed, breaking Alex's thought process. No, I guess that is the way you spell breaking. There's no E in it, and it's throwing me off, but no.
No, breaking without an E
is
like
that's not right at all. That would be like breaking a car.
Yeah.
I'd go back on my going back on that. She had no clue what came over her. She had never felt such a draw to another woman. Maybe it was loneliness or the need to feel, but Olivia was going to take this girl home and see where it led.
Or just that, like, she's super hot. I mean,
there's also that. It led straight to the bedroom. Before either of the women realized what was happening, they were pressed against Olivia's bedroom door. Alex's tongue gained entrance into Olivia's mouth rather quickly, and Olivia didn't mind it. Alex's tongue took charge, and Olivia followed. The woman... Sorry, funny mental image. He's got like a baton. The women's hands wandered.
I think it's fascinating that you assigned a male...
I was going to say the same thing, but then I didn't. I just figured that anyone with a hat and a baton... I don't know. Why do I think that? That's weird.
I don't know. That is weird. This is a story all about ladies, but their tongues are men. I don't know. Write that, too.
That'd be pretty good. And Olivia didn't mind it. Alex's tongue took charge, and Olivia followed. The women's hands wandered where Alex's settled on Olivia's ass and Olivia's on Alex's breasts. Alex moved her lips to Olivia's neck. Sorry, there's only one. That was on me. She didn't sprout a second head.
That's good.
And Olivia couldn't help but let out a loud moan. Maybe we should move into the bedroom. Alex took the moan as an indicator. I've never done this, Olivia blurted out, embarrassed. She was used to being on top and in control when it came to sex. Most guys loved her powerful attitude, sexy body, and her air of mystery, but this was new territory for her.
Men love my air of mystery.
It's okay. I have you. Alex took Olivia's hand and opened the bedroom door. It didn't take long for Olivia to get into it. Alex quickly removed everything but Olivia's underwear and wasn't shocked that under those bring...
Keep going. Maybe we can figure it out.
Under those bring were clothes. Alex...
No, we can't figure it out.
Is bring were a clothing line or something?
No.
It's not capitalized, but I don't...
Wait, so she took everything off but her underwear.
And wasn't shocked that under those bring were clothes was a gorgeous body surrounded by black lace.
Bring were.
Boring work?
Maybe. Let's go with that.
I mean,
it's the only... It's got to be something to that effect. Okay. Even if not those exact words. Okay. All right. See, we got it. We just got to work through it.
A gorgeous body surrounded by black lace. Alex wasn't expecting such a beautiful sight. No, it's spelled wrong. And instantly grew wet. Grew wet. Yeah. I guess, I've heard grow erect, and that makes some sense, but grow wet seems a bit of a mismatch.
I just picture her getting larger and also more wet. I take it back. I think this episode's a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
I was about to say like a shrinky dink, but that's the other way. What I actually meant was like the dinosaur sponges. That's definitely growing wet. Are the dinosaur sponges.
So she's a dinosaur sponge. And the other one has a male tongue. I like this story.
Oh, man. Alex...
This might only be funny to us.
Alex latched onto Olivia's breasts. Olivia moaned and arched as Alex sucked her and bit her hardening nipples. Olivia felt herself becoming more and more aroused. Starting at Olivia's neck, Alice kissed a trail all the way. Is they spelled the same way? I've had a couple of drinks.
No, they're not.
So it's spelled wrong. Kissed a trial all the way down to her panties. Alex, there's that fucking word again. Alex laid a kiss on Olivia's core and felt Olivia's wetness. Now, by core, is that a euphemism for sex parts?
Yeah.
Or do they mean, like, I'm really working I'm blasting my core at the... Okay.
That's a different kind of core blasting.
Alex laid a kiss on Olivia's core and felt Olivia's wetness. Alex grew impatient and tore Olivia's panties off, eliciting a shocked gasp. So, in my mind, that's an actually, literally tore.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's actually
No, I'm imagining ruined. These are actually ruined.
Okay. That's a good point. That seems hard to do.
I mean, I guess it depends how old the underwear I have are. I mean, I have a pair of underwear that when I pull them on, my fingers go through them. I did just throw them out.
They creak and dust shoots out?
They literally fall apart. But I just threw them away. But I mean, maybe she's wearing, but they're lace.
Right.
Does that make it more or less hard to tear them? I guess it depends on the lace, too.
Right. And it's not like it had a starter nick. Then I could see it happening.
Well,
but without that, I think that's hard.
So maybe if she just got, her thumb through a hole and then just, tore.
I don't see that happening
I
without
don't
causing
know. We're
a
going to
lot
have to
of
buy
pain.
some underwear and give it a test.
Sure.
We can put them on a log or something. You've got, like, a lot of logs outside. Well, you can't just, like, hold them and tear them. That's not going to give you the same effect. I don't know.
On a log. Ugh. Alex grew impatient and tore Olivia's panties off, eliciting a shocked gasp. Olivia's hips bucked, and Alex took that as a sign to slip 2 fingers into Olivia's core. Oh, okay. Olivia.
All I'm thinking about is the Ben & Jerry's with the, like, salted caramel core. Yum. I'd stick my fingers in that.
It's like the coleslaw.
I feel drunk, and I swear
Yeah,
I
I know.
haven't had a
It
single
seems that
booze.
way.
Not in many months.
You're getting a contact
Yeah,
drunk from me.
seriously.
Slipped 2 fingers into Olivia's core. Olivia moaned as Alex curled her fingers to hit her G-spot. Olivia began to curse under her breath, and Alex took the chance to shock her even further. She latched her mouth onto Olivia's clit and began to lick at a steady rhythm. Olivia tasted amazing, and Alex had no clue why it was different this time.
She usually hates that taste.
The motion blew Olivia's mind. Never had she felt something so utterly amazing, and soon her orgasm began to build. Before Olivia realized it, her legs were wrapped around Alex, and she began to tighten. Her orgasm crashed over her, and her breathes hitched. There's that hitching again. After a few moments of silence, Alex turned to her. Are you okay? Wow, Olivia said, regaining her breath. I should return the favor, Olivia stated. Yes, you should, Alex responded by pulling her in for a slow kiss. In between kisses, Olivia began to remove Alex's clothing.
You don't know her anything.
You'd think that Olivia would be the one shouting that. Olivia had to stifle a moan when she had an entirely naked woman lying on front of her. Hold on. I'm going to read that again to make sure I didn't fuck it up. Olivia had to stifle a moan when she had an entirely naked woman lying on front of her. Nope, that's what it says.
Okay.
Olivia followed Alex's lead and placed kisses all over her chest before moving downward. For an inexperienced woman, Olivia sure knew what to do, and it felt absolutely amazing.
Alright, boy. Chris is sitting behind you. He's like placing them all over her chest. Depositing small amounts of kisses.
We got a rich vein here, boys.
Oh my god. What was in that smoky bones?
Olivia's fingers made her way to Alex's wetness and found their way inside. Olivia began to stroke Alex's G-spot and placed her thumb on Alex's clit. The combination of pressure and G-spot stimulation took Alex over the edge quickly, and she kissed Olivia to stifle her screams. Olivia licked her fingers clean and made her way back to the top of the bed. Afterward, the two said very little and fell asleep naked in each other's arms, which is why Olivia was shocked when she woke up alone in bed smelling of sex the next morning. Now, there's no break here. It just goes straight into the next paragraph, but there has to have been a break here. Morning, Liv, Finn giggled as Olivia searched the desk drawer for her Tylenol bottle. Now, Finn giggled is the most wrong pair of words I've ever... Lieutenant Finn Tutuola does not giggle. If I saw Ice-T giggling, I would be certain that Ragnarok was upon us at that moment. There's no chance that dude has ever giggled in his life, whether playing a character or not.
I'm trying to picture it, and I just...
Yeah, no, you can't, because it doesn't. Like trying to make a Mobius strip, like you can't do it. Rough night, Finn questioned. Before Olivia could muster a response, Kragan entered the bullpen. What have we got, Cap? Amaro asked, trying to shield Olivia from the captain's gaze. Parole violation, Kragan responded, dropping a file onto Olivia's desk. Since when do we handle parole violations? Olivia asked in a tone conveying her lack of enthusiasm. Since she asked for you personally, Kragan ordered before retreating into his office. Dun, dun, dun. So Alice got picked up on parole, and now she's going to need Benson to get her out of it. And maybe into some other compromising situations, perhaps. But yeah, so other than the Tutuola giggling, I don't know, I thought that was pretty okay. Yeah. It was, again, we haven't done much crossover stuff.
I feel like we should make a whole episode out of that. Maybe 80 episodes, because there's a whole lot of crossover.
Yeah, we totally can. But what I enjoyed about this was it was pretty well written. I mean,
Mostly.
grading on a curve.
Yeah.
It was well written. And like you could totally, this isn't like Harry Potter Transformers or whatever. Like
two universes that would never make
right,
any
these
sense
universes
together,
could totally abut one another, and it would make sense.
No.
And two sexy ladies getting it on and whatever. It was pretty good. For my first venturing into crossover territory, I think it went pretty okay. That was that was a chair, not an old man dying in the studio.
Wasn't it?
Okay, man, I really enjoyed my next one. But you've got one to go.
I've got
first.
2 more.
But also, I'm going to stop because I'm out of whiskey, and that needs to be rectified. We will be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've got a beer, and Kira's got a story for us. If she could stop looking at her phone, we're recording.
My next story, I think I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to leave the weird one for... Well, it's not... I mean, it's a little weird, but it's not, like, sexy weird. It's just... It's a poem.
I saw one of those. Oh, my God, I saw a poem, too.
But I'm going to leave that for last. I think I'm going to go with this one because this one was more what I was expecting out of the genre.
Okay.
Because I was expecting this to be a lot of male wish fulfillment kind of writing, which I get the feeling that it actually isn't. Because so much of the guy on guy stuff is that, but from the other end.
Right.
Which is clearly written by a person who has never had any interaction with male parts whatsoever. So
Okay.
I thought that it was going to be similar for this genre, but for the most part it was not. However, this one I feel might have been. This is called Catherine's Games by Where the Berries Bloom.
I really thought you were going to say Where All the White Women At.
And this is on fanfiction.net, and it is Vampire Diaries.
Okay. I have no experience with this fandom
I
whatsoever.
have a lot of experience with this fandom.
So this is a bad television show?
Yes.
Okay. So that seems to be when I hear people talking about it, the main thing that people seem to mention about it is that it is bad.
It's not great, and yet I watched
And yet
so
they
many
continue to
seasons
watch
of
it, right.
We did stop. Because it got too ridiculous.
So here's my question. Was it ever good, or was it bad forever?
I think it was... I mean, it was not horrible in the beginning, I'll say.
Okay.
I just think Damon's really hot. And, like, honestly, I would just... that dude.
I'm just curious about not necessarily the fanfic fandom, just the fandom of the show in general. Because, like, when I think of television shows that I've watched for a long time, and I think of ones that are bad, okay, the 3 that come to my mind instantly are Heroes, Sons of Anarchy, and Dexter. But see, here's the thing. All 3 of those shows started out great and just got progressively shittier, but I was so invested in them that I couldn't stop even when they were bad shows.
Well...
This show, it seems like it was never good, and yet people still are obsessed with it.
Again, to say good is a little strong, but, like, it wasn't horrible. Would you agree with me, producer? There was some fascinating possibility in the storylines.
The main story and the main characters are absolute shit. All the secondary characters have some merit.
Yeah. And Damon's really hot.
I consider him secondary.
You do?
Well, it's the irritating...
Dumb brother.
The irritating dumb brother and the irritating dumb love interest of the irritating brother.
Yeah. But Damon's super hot, the werewolf dude's really hot.
And, yeah, so Frankenberry and Squirrel Girl.
He thinks that, the other one, what's his name even? I can't remember.
The brother?
Yeah.
Stefan.
Oh, yeah. He thinks he looks like a Frankenstein. But anyway.
Specifically a fruit-based Frankenstein.
Clearly. But anyway, no, I don't think it was ever a good show. It's your basic, like, teenage girl meets dude and falls in love with him. Oh, but he's a vampire and he has an evil brother, but is he really evil? And, like, you know, he's also super hotter. But she loves this one, and it just started out that stereotypical storyline and just, like, went so nuts. And, like, everybody on the show has died, like, 18 times.
So it's like Dragon Ball Z.
It's like Dragon Ball Z for ladies. How about that?
I thought that was Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I guess they don't die on Sailor Moon, though.
No, but so, like, anyway, that's basically Vampire Diaries. And this one, the pairing on it was Caroline / Elena / Catherine / Rebecca / Bonnie. So I knew this was going to be...
Okay. I am rubbing my hands together in anticipation.
Don't get too excited, because it doesn't really actually get that
I thought you said
sexy.
it was male wish fulfillment.
I do think that, but it says at the bottom a 2-part one-shot, but
That's,
There's-
first of all, hold on.
no second part, so it doesn't matter.
2-part one-shot is oxymoronic to begin with.
Yes,
Anyway.
it is. But I think they meant this to be 2 chapters, but I couldn't find the other chapter at all, so we never actually get to the sex. Anyway, I'm ruining it already.
You sure are.
'Cause who
To be
wants,
fair, I think the author ruined it.
who wants to read
Who
it
was,
now?
by the way, did you mention?
Yeah, where the berries bloom.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're all white women now.
Correct.
Not only are they disappointing me with their username, but apparently their unfinished storyline.
Yeah. So, this basically starts out that Bonnie, Elena, and Caroline wake up in a big abandoned house, an old, like, rundown. There's a lot of old rundown plantation homes in Vampire Diaries, which I think is another reason I like it. I just like to look at the old houses. But, that's me, not everybody, I'm sure. But anyway, so they all wake up there, and they don't know how they got there, and they're really confused, and, you know, all their vervain protection is not on them. It's an herb that they wear so vampires can't compel them.
Okay.
So they're like, why are we here? And someone who isn't named says that she remembers Catherine breaking into her room and knocking her out, and when she woke up, Rebecca was here. These are 2 other characters. Okay, I guess I should give you a little tiny bit of background since you don't know who any of these people are. Elena, Caroline, and Bonnie. Elena's the main character, and Bonnie and Caroline are her best friends. So they're just like regular people.
None of them is supernatural.
Correct. Caroline...
My producer is telling me that you're wrong.
Okay, Bonnie's a witch.
And?
Like,
Caroline.
she's not a vampire in this.
Oh, she's not?
No.
Oh.
Now, is that because of a timing thing, or?
I guess it must be. But Rebecca's not in the show when she's not a vampire, so I don't know how that works.
Completely made up universes. How
Yeah,
do they work?
Seriously. They don't. Catherine is Elena's double, who's like a vampire and like hundreds of years old. Her doppelganger.
Okay.
And Rebecca is like an original vampire kind of dealy. She's like real old.
Okay.
So they're working in cahoots now, and that's no good for anybody, apparently.
This is like a 5-year-old trying to explain Pokemon to their grandmother.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they look around, and they see a faint light at the end of a hallway. And I'm just gonna start reading some out of this, because maybe you'll understand why I think it's male wish fulfillment. But I could be totally off base here, but this is what it feels like to me.
As a male with a whole lot of wishes to be fulfilled, maybe I can provide some insight.
The scene was set. The room was warm and comfortable with a big bed. Catherine and Rebecca looked sensational in their low-cut lingerie. Catherine in a light pink and white bustier that complemented her dark hair and eyes and enhanced the golden glow of her creamy olive skin. Minute panties, spelled P-A-N-T-Y''S.
Oh, God. Ew. Ew. Ugh, gross. I'm so grossed.
Minute panties. I can't even... I don't even...
It's a combination of the abuse of the English language mixed with a word that should never be spoken or written under any circumstances.
Minute panties in a bright pink that barely covered her pussy and were merely a string up her behind. Her curly hair was let loose and her lips were bright red. Are you feeling any wish fulfillment?
I'm not certain it's necessarily male wish fulfillment, but it's probably wish fulfillment.
Rebecca was dressed in something similar, except her corset was black and red and pushed the tops of her breasts up so that her nipples peeked out. She wore no panties at all, and her trimmed blonde hair cut into a perfect landing strip. Her pale skin looked warm in the glow of the firelight, and her blonde hair was pulled back by barrettes. And so it goes on then to tell us that Catherine and Rebecca have been in a relationship for 2 months now, and Rebecca had said that she had a dream of, having sex with these 3 female humans who were such a thorn in her brother's side, which, they super are, but let's not get into that, because none of that has anything to do with the story. So, they, knocked them all out and stole their protection so that she could have her wish. Elena, Bonnie, and Caroline, thought the blonde with a delighted sigh. Elena with her tight, curvy body and its lush valleys and dips and warm olive skin. She never failed to excite her. Bonnie with her warm mocha skin and her slim figure was all legs. Caroline, she thought with a shudder, she excited her the most. She had wide hips and lush big breasts with a dash between them. B-I-G dash breasts.
I love that.
That Rebecca could not wait to taste. So the 3 girls come up to the door, and Catherine tells them to come in, and they do, and then they compulse them right away before they have a chance to run away. So now they're controlling their actions. Strip, demanded both the vampires, pleased when the mindless marionettes complied. Bonnie pulled her full-sleeved white shirt over her head, displaying what had to be the hottest stomach that Catherine had ever seen. It was toned and taut, with faint wedges of her abs. On top of that, Bonnie wore a green lace bra that contained her small, cute B-cup breasts. Her panties, spelled the same way, matched her bra and were bright green lace boy shorts cut in a provocative V. The green contrasted vividly with Bonnie's coffee-colored skin and reflected her own green eyes, shimming, S-H-I-M-M-I-N-G, shimming out of her panties.
It's probably shimmying.
It probably is.
Yeah, okay.
Shimming out of her pants and bra, soon she was naked except for her panties.
Spelled the same way?
No, that was actually spelled right, actually.
So, stop you
Go
real
ahead,
quick.
that's fine. I need to take a drink anyway. My throat's tickly.
Boy shorts cut in a V? Am I not knowing what boy shorts are?
No, they're those little... I think maybe the front, instead of just being like a straight, they're like...
So I guess I wouldn't consider those to be that then. But, okay. I wasn't sure if maybe I was...
Look, I didn't write it.
I know. I was just asking your opinion on ladies' underwear.
Elena was pulling down her skirt, displaying the full length of her tanned legs. Her calves were perfectly curved and strong, muscular. Her slot...
Her slot?
No, that's not what
You
it
sure?
says. Yeah, I'm positive. Her slim thighs were encased in gossamer, fine nude stockings with a bright purple garter that was trimmed in pink. See, again, we're doing that whole thing where, like, there's so much bizarre clothing description that you know that this has got to be in particular to this writer.
Right. So that I get. I guess I might be taking offense to your thought this is specifically male wish fulfillment.
That's fine.
Most guys probably aren't going to spend that long describing the
What
clothes.
they're wearing? You don't think so?
No.
No?
And as someone who is into certain articles of clothing very much, I can't imagine myself going into that much detail about them now. Were I writing a thing. B, there's nothing about this. I get what you're saying in that it seems very tailored to a specific individual's taste. Don't see why it couldn't just be a horned up lady as opposed to
I guess
a
because
dude.
Everything else I've read was so well written and this is not, that I think
so
that...
men are shitty at writing.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Dudes are dumb.
All right.
Dudes are dumb, and this, like, and again...
Welcome to Third Grade Playground podcast, everybody.
All the rest
Boys
of the
are
stories
stupid.
we've read, again, have been because these women found each other attractive or had feelings for each other and did stuff as a result.
And in this they were just kind of forced into a situation? Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's why I feel like this is what I expected and was pleasantly surprised was not the case.
Okay.
Anyway, let me go back to describing some panties. Her panties were the same same pink and purple thong that matched her garters.
I hate that word so much.
And it barely covered her pubic mound. Whenever she bent, both Catherine and Rebecca were rewarded with a glimpse of her beautiful, taut ass with its creamy, firm cheeks and an unblemished skin.
Just one, though.
Elena had large hips and a tiny waist. I don't think that Elena is nearly as shapely as this author is making her out to be. But
I don't have any reference, unfortunately.
her body fell into such hourglass perfection that it was all that Rebecca could do not to lunge at her. Her thick bra was
Probably thin?
probably
We're going with it.
was
Okay.
inadequate to contain the huge mounds of her big breasts. Again,
Or her thing bra, and it's orange and rocky.
I don't think her boobs are that big. As a person who looks at that, I was never really that impressed by them. Her think bra was inadequate to contain the huge mounds of her big breasts. Soon she had
Was that one hyphenated also?
No.
So only one of them
Author's
has
extremely
only one of them has
inconsistent.
hyphenated big breasts.
Right.
Okay.
That's the other one. We'll get to her in a second. I think she's clearly the not favorite, but soon she had disposed of the bra and the rest of her clothes. She stood with Bonnie just in her panties and garter belt. Caroline stripped of her restricting pants and her old t-shirt just down to her sky blue panties. She wore no bra, and her firm breasts jiggled enticingly as she bent to remove her pant leg. Her pale skin was golden in the firelight, and her body was perfect, voluptuous. That's
Is
all.
she pale or golden? They keep wavering on this.
Big hips.
I don't think you can be both.
I mean, if you're pale and you're in firelight, it can look golden. I think that's what they're trying to. I think they're trying to paint like a visual picture, and it's failing miserably. Big hips that flared down into strong thighs and slim legs. Her belly wasn't flat, but gently concave. She was curved to perfection. I don't think they meant concave, but...
You don't?
No, I don't. Rebecca held out her hand to all three girls and led them to the bed, ... And then it says 2-part one shot, but there's no second chapter, so who knows what'll happen.
I have a pretty good idea.
Do you?
Yeah, probably some sex stuff.
Yeah, I don't think she meant
General licking and
concave.
feeling.
I don't think that the author meant concave, because her belly wasn't flat. Like, I think that the author's trying to imply that she's more curvy. Like, I think that they meant that her stomach was slightly convex.
Okay.
But... Because it said she was curved to perfection.
Right, but concave is also a curve.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's what they're going for. But anyway, that's the end, and we will never know.
No, we never will. What a travesty.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Because I was like, well, where's chapter 2? But it's just not here. Unless they made it a separate story, but I didn't look for that, so...
Good.
Sorry, I can only put so much effort
Excellent. Excellent scholarly rigor.
Yep.
You got there.
I'm looking right now, and the answer is no.
So yeah, I still don't know that I would call it male wish fulfillment, but it's definitely someone's wish fulfillment. But I guess if we're talking in real broad strokes, there's none of this that isn't someone's wish fulfillment.
Correct. Yeah, it's super just wish fulfillment. Absolutely.
Okay, so my next story is called Feeling Myself. Now, if you search for a story called Feeling Myself on Archive of Our Own, you're going to find a whole shitload of
I
them.
bet.
So you, if you're looking this up, want the one by Impertinence. So I found this tagged as RPF, which I wasn't sure what that was. I put on my big boy thinking pants, and I thought for a while. I'm pretty sure that stands for, and please tell me if I am correct or incorrect, real person fic? Holy shit, I got it right. Okay. Yeah, so this is also something that I don't think we've done.
No.
Everything has been characters up to this point.
Super weirds me out.
I was going to wait till the end of this to get to that, but yeah, it's
Like, to
it's
me,
odd, it's very
to
bizarre
put-
to me.
Like, you know me, I really love Sherlock fanfiction. That's great. But when someone wants to write a story about the actors, like, being together, that super weirds me out.
Yeah,
That seems like an invasion of privacy.
it's unsettling for a reason that I can't really
But,
explain.
I mean, I'm... There's lots of people who do like it, and that's cool if it's your
apparently.
thing, but I'm not into it, personally.
Okay, so we opened this story with local hero Taylor Swift. She grew up just miles from here, ladies and gentlemen. She's the most famous thing to come out of our hometown and probably ever.
Yeah.
Probably
Last
the
thing
history
was that
of the
dude
universe.
who wrote those books that were not that great, but.
Oh, and that guy who died of AIDS.
Oh,
I think T Swift trumps them all, though.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
The story opens. She's in bed with Jake Gyllenhaal, which there you go. That's
Wow.
where he comes in. How about that, right? And she's being eaten out by him. And I know what you're thinking. This is Femslash week.
I was just about to say that.
Don't worry, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
Um,
He's actually a woman.
no,
I'm ruining your story.
no, you're not, because that's not it. Oh, that would have been my first thought too, but actually no. If I hadn't explicitly known exactly what I was getting into when I started reading this story, then I would have thought that was what was going to happen. God, you're so hot, Jake said, and bent to lick her. Taylor wasn't shy anymore, not really. She spread her legs and threw her head back, arching against the bed. Jake licked and licked, and the song built. It was kind of weird listening to Jay-Z while she had sex, but that was fine. Taylor liked Jay-Z. She wasn't uncool. Then a woman came on.
What?
Jake's tongue slipped against her clit, and Taylor jerked, and his tongue flattened, and, oh god, the woman was good. Like, really good. And Jake's licking suddenly seemed a lot more interesting. The woman's voice was kind of weird, but it sounded strong, like she'd be tough and maybe a little mean, and, I'm a motherfucking monster!
Oh my
Taylor
God.
came, shuddering, with a hand in Jake's hair. It wasn't until she came down from it that she realized she hadn't been thinking about Jake at all. I need to go. Oh, come on, Jake said. Sorry, Taylor said. She yanked her underwear up and went to look for her dress. I'll call you. 4 years later. Locked in a closet with a drunk Nicki Minaj was definitely not how Taylor thought the AMAs would go. But then, she was also
That should have
drunk.
been the opening line to this story. I'm sorry.
No, the monster coming on, that was...
All right, fine.
That set it up perfectly. I thought. Anyway. But then, she was also drunk. And Nikki's boobs were, like, right there. Wow. Ugh, this sucks, Nikki said. I'm going to miss the after party. Well, Taylor said. She tried to think of a plus. I was going to go back to my hotel to my cats as soon as I could. Meredith will be mad at me if I stay here much longer. Is Meredith one of the cats?
Yeah.
You actually know that?
I wish I didn't.
Does she take her cats on tour with her?
That I don't know, but I do know that she has cats and is very...
My wife is nodding yes that she does. Okay. Did not know. I guess I should do more research into this shit, but
Apparently
her
you
being the
should.
most famous thing to come out here and all.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nikki gave her a look that seemed to be both disgusted and confused, then kicked the door. Well, I was going to win some awards and stay out till 3 a.m., and it's looking like that's happening. It's only like 11. You could totally stay out later still. Janitors don't do their thing here till 1. We could be here for a while. So I guess they're actually, like, they
they're
didn't need
stuck
to
in
be
a
locked
closet.
in the
They're
closet.
not, like, playing, like...
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Taylor wasn't going to ask how Nikki knew the janitor's schedule. Want to play rock, paper, scissors? I could have done another type of scissoring, Nikki.
What?
Taylor didn't let her jaw fall open. She'd met gay people, even lesbians.
Wow!
There's an exclamation point there. They were totally cool.
Oh my god! You know, I think I'm a little offended that they think that scissoring comment was up to her standards. Like, someone who
I know,
has
right?
the
She's
lyrical genius.
She seems like a much more intelligent and...
Yeah.
Like, that's a joke that I would make.
Right, yeah.
Like, Nicki Minaj is 100 times smarter and more eloquent than I am.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Her wordplay would be a little...
Yeah. Oh my god, so much
Yeah.
better. She'd met gay people, even lesbians. They were totally cool. Sometimes Taylor thought about kissing girls, too. It was fine. There was nothing weird about that.
Nothing to see here. Nothing weird at all.
Only, do people actually do that? Huh? You know, Taylor made the V's with her fingers and put them together. Scissoring. Nikki looked at her hands like she'd seen a bug, or like Iggy Azalea.
Okay.
I don't. What do you do? Oops. Are you serious? Taylor should have said no and just, like, backed off, so they could forget the whole thing. Instead, she said, yeah, kind of? I'm just curious. How about I show you, Nikki said, and walked up to her, sliding a finger down her shoulder. Taylor squeaked, then instantly regretted it. Don't worry, Nikki said. She pushed at the shoulder of Taylor's dress. It was one of Taylor's own, sparkly and going straight to the closet after this. It slid off her shoulder easily. I won't... Yeah, it seemed like a weird... a very weird
Straight to the
detail.
closet with you.
As soon as we get out of this closet, you're going to be locked in a completely different closet. It slid off her shoulder easily. I won't tell anyone. I can make news other ways. Taylor stood very, very still as Nikki pulled her dress down to her waist. Nikki met her eyes. Is this okay? She said it surprisingly gently for someone who was definitely not sober, just like Taylor. It had to be the alcohol that made her nod and say, You should keep going. Good affirmative consent. Olivia would be proud. Uh-huh. Nikki brushed her nails over Taylor's nipples. They were long, and it almost hurt. I'm guessing it's talking about the nails and not the nipples. But, I mean, it could be bad.
I'm going to keep picturing it the other way. They're like 5 inches at least.
They were long, and it almost hurt. But she kept the contact light so that Taylor shivered instead of flinching away. She could feel herself getting interested. I would hope by
now,
this
yeah.
point. Yeah.
I guess this is pretty okay.
She was yawning and looking at her watch before this. Her nipples hardening, her places getting hot and wet.
Oh.
More, she said. For a second, it looked like Nikki would agree. Then she shook her head. No. You want to know how people do it. You can do me. Taylor blinked, then focused on Nikki's outfit. She was wearing a slinky black dress, nothing like the elaborate stuff she'd worn in the past. Is there a zipper? Nikki cackled, flat out, evil witch cackling.
Whoa.
It sounded really powerful, and she looked so pretty when she did it, in the back. That was how Taylor ended up reaching around Nikki's shoulders and unzipping her dress, only to discover that Nikki was wearing absolutely no underwear. And she had plans that involved taking Taylor's hand and leading them to her clit, then down even further. She was so wet and warm, just so demanding. She tugged Taylor's hair and thrust her hips, and soon Taylor was getting her off, really actually making her come with just her fingers. It was amazing. She didn't even realize how turned on she was until Nikki pushed her away and said, Now it's your turn to get yourself off. Taylor blinked. Huh? Go on, Nikki nodded. Get yourself off. But Nikki was looking at her, and she looked so determined and interested. And Taylor was really turned on. So she hiked her dress up and pressed her clit, doing what she always did, feeling a little less guilty than usual.
Wow! What?
They're painting her like some drunk farm girl.
Wow! Pencil-tucky.
And then, yeah, that's true. And then, as Nikki kept watching and playing with her breasts idly, not guilty at all. It took hardly...
I'm really enjoying the idly playing with breasts. Like, yeah, whatever.
Also staring at her watch, also yawning. It took her hardly any time to come. She wound up slumped against the closed door, the wood panels digging into her shoulder blades as she threw her head back. Oh, God, she said. Oh, God.
I feel so guilty.
Still think you're straight? She didn't even know how to answer that. She'd never come so hard in her life. Then the rattles outside started, apparently they're skeletons. Is someone in... Wouldn't that have been a great turn for the story, do you think? Is someone in there? Just a second, Taylor yelled. Hang on, I tried to change. I'm not decent. Nikki, keep your eyes closed. Hang on. Nikki gave her an amused look. But she put her dress back on as Taylor pulled her bodice back up. When they were both covered, Taylor said, Okay, can you let us out? The door opened. Someone Taylor had never seen before in her life stood on the other side. He was wearing a giant cowboy hat, so he was probably sort of a colleague, except she'd moved on from the whole fakey country thing a while ago.
Wow.
Hi, thanks, bye, she said, and dashed off. Nikki didn't call her after. Taylor kind of wished she would have, but then again, she could probably get her number, somehow. Yeah, she was definitely going to, later. Right then, she needed to get back to bed and cuddle her cats.
I'm not going to touch that one.
What? No, go ahead.
No, I'm not. Done.
So, like you mentioned earlier, this was kind of weird. And
Yes.
I'm totally into the pairing and stuff, like for real. But writing about real people just seems to take this to
a weird level.
A different level,
yeah,
right?
I agree with you.
Help me be okay with this,
I
what I
can't.
wrote down, but apparently you can't because you have the same.
Although
I
I will say that this was a little less weird to me than what I described, because these people don't ever play someone else. So if you're forming these fantasies in your mind, it's based entirely on them.
Oh, okay. So
Whereas
you're
if
saying
it's
rather
an
than like an actor
actor
who plays a role.
yeah.
Okay.
And you're like unable to, in my
Well,
mind.
aren't all of us, especially musical entertainers, really playing a role all of the time?
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So this weirded me out a little less than if it had been like characters from a show, except
Okay.
it's the people who play them. Because I ran into some of that with some people from Supernatural, some ladies on that show, and I was just like totally weirded out.
So you can offer me no solace on this.
Yeah, sorry, I can't.
That's fine. I'm sorry.
I can't remember if it was on this show or if it was with that guy to who I'm married. That dude, me. That I was saying about how I can get more into fan fiction that's about something that was animated than I can about something with real people, because it just skeeves me out somehow to be forcing these people into these situations, with the exception of Sherlock, because that doesn't bother me at all. For some reason. I don't know. There's something about that show, man. Still reading it, like 2 years later. I don't know. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I can't help you with your problem.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I might have to do more research to figure out what's going on with me, yeah.
But yeah, I saw a lot of that genre as well.
So anyway, you got a last one.
I do have a last one. It's, like I said, it's written in poem form, that's the only reason I picked it, because it was written in poem form, and that was something I've never ever come across before.
I want to stop you real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
When I was looking for Super Mario Brothers or Smash Brothers related things, and so I was on Archive of Our Own, and I went to fandoms, video games, and S, because I was looking for Super Mario Brothers or Super Smash Brothers, and one of the fandoms that was listed was Ski Free. Now, y'all remember Ski Free, right? It was the skiing game that was on the computer that you had in 3rd grade. I know. So I went. There was only one story in the Ski Free archive.
Man.
And it was a poem, and it was actually, I thought, very interesting and insightful. It's totally out of the scope of this episode, so maybe we'll release it as a very short boner ep or something. But when you mentioned the poem, that was what I thought of. Anyway.
So I picked this one because it was in a poem form, and that was different to me. So this one is called Awakened by Blonde Cecil. But I don't think it's Night Vale related, because this was written in 06.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
So, unless they had some sort of, precognition.
Proto Night Vale.
Yeah. This one is, oh my god, my words are leaving me. Hey Arnold is the fandom.
I wasn't sure if you were starting to read the story or if that was what you were getting at.
No. Hey Arnold is the fandom, and the characters...
What is it with you and Nickelodeon cartoons?
The characters... I was hoping for something appalling, and I couldn't find anything. How many times was we over this? The characters are Helga and Rhonda as 17-year-olds in parentheses. So, we can at least feel a little less guilty about that. This is an alternate universe fic taking place in 18th century England. It contains supernaturalism and femslash. It was intended to be taken seriously.
Okay, I'll try to fix that in my mind as I listen to the words you're about to say.
So it said written in poem form, and it's not very long, but I don't feel like reading the whole thing. So, I'll just summarize, and then, I'll read a couple of these, little chunks
Stanzas?
of the poem. Yeah. So, the story takes place 18th century England. Helga is, going to bed. She feels something creepy in the night, so she tells her servants not to let anybody in tonight, because something creepy is going on.
They would normally just let people wander in off the street? Okay.
Helga is in her room. It's late. Her parents are asleep, and she hears the maid tapping at her door. The maid tells her that there's a visitor, and it's Miss Rhonda, who is apparently another rich person in this town. But she hates her. I'm pretty sure that was part of the show that they didn't get on. I don't know.
I watched very little.
I didn't watch that much of it. And what I did watch, I apparently didn't, retain it all. Except I remember Helga. She was the blonde one with the unibrow.
All I can think of is Helga from the Oblongs.
No.
Not Helga from Hey Arnold, the one who got stuck in the
Yeah,
sewer.
I loved that show.
I know, it was a really good show.
Anyway.
You have the Will Ferrell hate, by the way. He was totally one of the voices on that show.
That's great, but
you love so much.
I still like the show. And
I know. That's what I'm trying to...
See, but the difference is I don't have to watch him wander around in his underwear or naked in a cartoon form, so it doesn't matter. It's not the same
I think you saw Mr. Oblong in his underwear a fair bit.
Not the same. Anyway.
To you, maybe.
Yes. Anyway, So she's this other, rich lady in town that's like her arch nemesis is out there. I don't know, m'lady, but she's out in the cold. You said let no one in, so I did as was told. Stumped and suspicious, Helga made past the maid. Candle in hand, she descended the stairway. Stairway and maid do not rhyme. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this poem
That's a real stretch.
is not working for me.
The door was swung open, and Rhonda revealed, in her red-draped attire, breast barely concealed. She narrowed her eyes and put her hands on her hips. Well, aren't you going to invite me in? That didn't even try to rhyme.
No, this person seems to be playing pretty fast and loose with the...
That would have been better. See, you've already written a better poem. Helga might have liked to see Rhonda freeze, but common sense warned her of killers and thieves. She felt her spine tingle unkindly again, then stepped to the side and muttered, "Come in." Rhonda strode in, and the cold was shut out. She smiled in a strangely good mood, no doubt. Helga sneered and demanded, "Well, why have you come?" "I'm thirsty," Rhonda said. "Do you have any rum?" So, Helga's like, WTF, don't you have booze at your own house? And I'm summarizing. She says, "I do," but she doesn't really have a response for that. She just makes fun of Helga for thinking that there's, killers and thieves outside. Helga says, we're like rich people, so the townspeople probably hate us. So they probably got it out for us anyway. So Rhonda says, you know what I think? Rhonda said with a smirk, her nose in the air as she relished each word. "I think you're scared, afraid to get caught. That what'll Mom and Dad say if they catch you quite sloshed." None of this rhymes.
Was that Wuttle or like Wuddle? Like
Wuddle.
It sounded like WUDDLE.
No, it wasn't.
Is that what a turkey's chin thing is called? That's a waddle. Okay.
Yeah. "I'm not afraid," Helga said a bit loudly. Then she lowered her voice and spoke more soundly. "And as for as for my parents, they wouldn't so much as tut, but they shan't ever know as you'll keep your mouth shut."
Hey, got one.
So, shielding her candle, she guided the way down into the cellar, gloomy and dank.
My brain was trying. It was searching so fiercely for what word that was going to be. And it got sucker punched in the temple by dank. Never saw that coming.
The cold stone walls seemed to soak up the light and resonate their footsteps. Terse, oral bites. What? You're going to stretch that far to rhyme light with bites?
I'm enjoying this.
Under the mansion, the passages steeped until finally a long, narrow chamber they reached. The walls were lined and with stacked rows of wines and rums and such liquors. Rhonda praised. How divine!
It's okay. I'll give it to you.
Helga lit a small lantern at the opposite end, whilst Rhonda uncorked a drink of dark red.
Nope, not even close.
Before Helga even could demand any answers, she was handed a bottle as Rhonda chimed cheers. Answers and cheers? No.
I mean, they've offended...
No. I feel like maybe I will just read this because I'm kind of having a good time.
Good. I'm enjoying myself.
Half a bottle later, her suspicions subdued. Her curiosity, however, still strongly pursued.
Holy shit. Hole in one.
But when Helga re-asked why the hell she had come, Rhonda just snorted and reached for more rum. "I'm still thirsty," Rhonda whined and knocked some more back. "Maybe you should drink more water, you brat."
Nope.
Helga watched...
They're on such a roll.
This should be a drinking game. Rhonda's throat moved smooth as the liquor went down. Helga shivered again and looked around with a frown.
That one worked. I just thought it was funny.
"We're safe here," she told herself. "Don't be a fool. Does your presence have to do with why you weren't at school?" Rhonda paused at those words, then stared Helga through. "What makes you so sure I'm not just here for you?" Helga furrowed her brow and felt abnormally shy. "There is more to you, Helga, than meets the eye." The author's doing pretty
That's
good.
what, 3 in a row?
Yeah. It struck Helga then how pale Rhonda was. Her skin was so white, her lips redder because... The power you have isn't just in your name. I can smell it, Helga. It runs in your veins. Rhonda's face was now merely inches from hers. Helga backed lest she smell breath thickened by liquor.
Nope, you had a good thing going.
But Rhonda continued to move all too nigh, till she pressed against Helga, breast to thigh. That rhymed, but I don't...
Yeah, that's... Physically, I don't see how that's working.
And what's become of you, Rhonda? Helga shrilled in dismay, and attempted quite roughly to push her away. Are you mad, corrupted, possessed, or forsaken? Not at all, Rhonda answered. I've just finally awakened.
Sorry.
Then she smiled a smile more sweet than most wines. Helga gasped upon sighting such long, sharp canines. Rhonda neared Helga's neck, hot breath against skin. Still thirsty, Rhonda murmured, and sank her teeth in. Sensation exploded, slashed past all defenses, rushing and crashing, raiding all Helga's senses. She tried to cry out, but her voice fell astray, lost to stone walls and the rival of day. It rhymes, but I don't understand what that means.
I would guess that would be
Night? Darkness?
Yeah.
Like thick, heavy drapes, darkness sagged in the air. Helga let her eyes shut as her hands raked through her hair. Though thoughts went crumbling, the candle slipped from her clutch, and she grasped Rhonda's arms to keep herself up.
Nope.
I feel like
Not
the author put a lot more effort into these bits than at the beginning.
Yeah, they've definitely shown an improvement.
Yeah. We only have 4 little stanzas to go. Rhonda kept a firm grip as she lifted her head. Her mouth wet with red, she smiled and said, "Hang in there, Helga. We aren't finished yet." Then pulled Helga's face to the crook of her neck. Rhonda's laugh filled the cellar as Helga bit down, and blood, strangely cool, flooded her mouth.
Nope.
When
You should get like, not a siren, like a buzzer. I mean, for any future poems, we'll have to keep that in mind. I'll have to download an app on my phone.
When the maid happened on them, she fled with a scream, while Rhonda kept laughing, and life became a dream. A dream, indeed, from which Helga had awakened, neither mad, corrupted, possessed, or forsaken. There was a thirst deep inside, and it wasn't for water. By the time the Patakis came to look for their daughter, there was naught to be found so late in the night, but spilt wax and rum and a lantern's spare light. And so it was, to them, some sad act of sinning. Little did they know it was just the beginning. And that's the end.
You know, I gotta say, I appreciate the effort. I really do. It was
fun to read.
It was interesting, and there was actually some decent turns of phrase in there. But the rhyming
really threw me.
I gotta give you like a D- on the rhyming.
If you're gonna do a not rhyming poem, that's fine.
Right.
But like, don't then like also have some of it rhyme and some of it doesn't.
Right. That's just that's like, unfair.
I feel the same way.
Okay, my last one, which I feel like might be kind of a letdown after the beauty that was that Taylor Nicky slash there, is called Like a Razor Blade by Semi Adorable on Archive of Our Own. Okay, so there's a couple reasons I picked this. First one, it was Orphan Black, which is one of the things that came up on the list of most Femslash topics. Second, I specifically thought that Orphan Black would be a great one because I don't think that you watch it.
Nope.
Orphan Black is a show...
I don't think it's on any of the media that I consume.
It's on BBC America and Sci-Fi?
Yeah, no, I only
Definitely
have Netflix.
BBC America.
I only have Netflix.
It was a partially British production.
I don't have cable.
So anyway, in Orphan Black, just a quick rundown. Spoilers for the first episode of Orphan Black.
Whatever.
So there's this girl, and she's a junkie, and she comes back to New York City after she got ran out of the last town that she had gone to. She's on the subway. She sees a girl that looks just like her, put down her purse and take off her shoes, and then jump in front of a subway train and kill herself. She takes this opportunity to take the purse and shoes and run away and try to steal this lady's life because she looked just like her. Turns out she is a clone. there's a vast conspiracy. This lady was one of her clone sisters, and she finds a whole bunch more of them who are all living in, most of them anyway, are living in at least mostly ignorance about why, that they are clones or that they have doppelgangers out there and stuff. So the second reason I picked it, besides the fact that Orphan Black was up on that list and that I like Orphan Black, was that I thought that this would have some great opportunities for clone on clone.
I'm into it.
Both ladies. Is it masturbation? Is it incest? Is it
incest.
neither? Is it both? Right? And the third one is that it's called like a razor blade and there's some cutting in it, so I thought that was a nice parlay into the slash part of both the name of our podcast and the subject of the episode.
You're so clever.
Yeah. So yeah, on the show, Tatiana Malasani, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She plays like 13 different characters on the show.
Yeah.
She plays all the clone ladies.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. I was also, when originally looking for Orphan Black stuff, I saw an amazingly named AU crossover fic, Battlestar Orphan Blactica. Unfortunately, it was only rated teens and up and didn't really have much sex and generally wasn't super interesting. It was also like 800 million words long.
Yeah.
And I could not get into it. So that's why I got into the fandom, but here, I haven't mentioned being disappointed very much in this episode. Here I was, because despite the fact that the series focuses on this group of women who are all identical, and the whole point of this, and I specifically went to the FF ones, so you would think there would be a whole lot of clones cloning out on each other.
Mm-hmm.
90% of these stories are a pairing that A, is actually canonical within the universe, so why the fuck bother?
Right.
And B, is not two of the clones. It like 90% of it is Cosima/Delphine, otherwise known as Cophine, which sounds like a designer drug.
Yeah, it sure does.
I don't understand why that would be your focus. You see them having sex on the show already. What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
go watch the episode.
Right. Like if Sherlock, if John and Sherlock actually ended up fucking, then I would be like, why are you bothering to write this?
I'd be partying in the streets is what would happen. You would know it had happened because you would hear me all the way from here.
Right, but I would also see the frankly embarrassing amount of work that people have put into the two of them fucking, and just
there's
wonder
some really
why.
beautiful stuff out there.
I'm not saying that some of it isn't great. I'm saying the amount of it is
but to be
ridiculous.
Fair, oh yeah, it's great because I never run out. But the thing about that is that these people have written this before it became canonical. That makes it a little less...
But this I don't think, because these two characters, like, as soon as you meet them, they hook up.
Yeah, no. I just mean that's the difference between that and Sherlock. Because it wouldn't, like, invalidate all these years of work. It would super validate them. Whereas this is just weird. Like, why write about people who are already together? I agree.
Yeah, that was... but anyway, this is not that. I did manage to find some clone-on-clone action.
Clone?
So,
just one clone?
No, it's just clone on clone. Okay. It's not clone on clone on clone on clone. Stacks on stacks on stacks, man. So in season 2, again, some spoilers for Orphan Black.
Fine.
In season 2, you meet Rachel, who they refer to as the proto-clone. Unlike the other ones who have been brought up kind of like in the wild and don't know of each other, she was brought up within the conspiracy and has kind of been keeping an eye on all of her clone sisters for all of these years. And she's a heartless bitch, and everyone hates her, and she routinely goes out of her way to fuck over her clone sisters and stuff.
Who is the original that they're all based on?
That's one of the things that that you don't know. I haven't seen season 3 because I forgot to set my DVR to record it. But
you have a problem with that.
Yeah, I know. I really do. I watched the first episode and then forgot to record the rest of it. So I've seen the first 2 seasons, and it's not answered in the first 2 seasons anyway.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so Rachel, the mean bitch, power-hungry one, and who is allied against the rest of the clone family, she gets a hold of Sarah, who is the original one who stole the stuff from the one who killed herself, and then does some pretty horrible stuff to her. Where'd you get the picture, Sarah? Rachel walks towards me, her eyes gleaming with authority. Not authority, authority.
Gotcha.
Up yours, pro-clone. I see a flash of anger goes through Rachel's eyes as she leans towards me. Fine, you want to play games, Sarah? Let's play. Before I know it, she is moving my hair and slicing right behind my ear. Pain-filled screams leave my mouth as I feel blood start to trickle down my neck. Rachel pulls back and smirks at the sobs escaping me. Are you going to tell me now? Part of me wants to spill everything. The pain in my ear is almost too much to bear. It seems...
Man, that's quick.
I know, right? That was my thought. Look, I'm not saying
I
that
give
getting
you a
your ear
paper
sliced
cut.
is... Right, yeah. I mean, that's going to hurt. But it's almost too much to bear. I mean, it's been like 2 seconds, dude. But I think of Cosima and Allison, and I know I can't. With no apostrophe. I have to protect my sisters and Kira. Always Kira. Kira is... you are her daughter.
Wow.
One of the other major plot points is they're not supposed to be able to procreate, but Sarah had a daughter before she found out all of this shit. And so people are trying to figure out why she was able
How's it spelled?
to have with an I. Never, I tell Rachel. Your choice. Rachel holds the blade up to the side of my neck, presses it down, and drags it the length of my neck. Now, that sounds, like really bad, but she's still pretty much okay.
Maybe it's a light drag, like it's gotta be, I guess.
Shite! Sarah is British by upbringing. I managed to groan out through my tears. My head starts spinning, and weather, spelled as in rain falling from the sky. It's from the pain or blood loss, I don't know. Before I have time to recover from that cut, Rachel is making another one, this time across my stomach. My screams have turned deafening now, the pain spreading throughout, that's 2 words, my entire body. Please, Rachel, please stop, I beg her through my sobbing. She grabs my face in her hand and looks me dead in the eye. Are you going to answer my questions now? She asks while admiring her handiwork. Handy, spelled with a Y. My tears mix with blood as I cry. I know I can't, with no apostrophe. Cosima told me if I was ever in a life-threatening position that I could tell them everything, but I just can't, no apostrophe, bring myself to. I shake my head at Rachel. I can't, no apostrophe, tell you. You're, spelled incorrectly, doing this for Kira, for your sisters. It's okay, you can do this. I have to keep reminding myself. Rachel goes for the other ear this time, cutting the same path as the other. She then asks again, and my answer stays the same, so she cuts my leg. Then the blade is pressing into my hip when I finally break. So I don't think we've done a whole lot of torture or cutting or blood-related stuff on the show yet, right? So that's at least new.
Yeah. Man, we haven't done vampires yet.
No. Wow, that is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super weird.
Or at least a vampire-centric family.
Yeah.
Huh. But anyway, so that's something, right? People torture other people? I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. It does it for you? I assume not. Maybe,
usually.
although the way your face is looking, maybe I'm wrong.
Not usually. How
Not
about that?
usually? Okay.
Yeah.
They have to really be deserving of it?
I don't, there's a lot of, I can't explain human sexuality, man.
That should be the pull quote for our podcast. I can't explain human sexuality, man. When we get our star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, that's what it's going to say underneath you. Okay, so at this point, Sarah breaks and she tells her, where everybody's hiding out, all their secret plans and everything.
Man.
Yeah, I know. The hip, I guess, is the key. If you ever need somebody to spill their guts immediately, place a blade on their hip.
I'll keep that in mind.
So afterwards, Rachel has Sarah cleaned up and then roped to her bed. So Rachel wraps her hands around my throat. You like to choke people, eh? This was they had gotten into a fight before she got her roped down to the bed. She starts squeezing. Well, how do you like being choked? I cough and writhe beneath her, gasping for breath when she finally lets go. So what else do you know about Lita? Rachel asks. Lita is the name of the project that made all the clones. Nothing. I just saw the picture. That's no apostrophe. It. Rachel slaps me across the face. Lies, she growls. You want to do this the hard way? Fine. Let's, no apostrophe, do it. Rachel pulls my head back and starts kissing my neck, confusing me, until she finds my pulse point and bites down. I let out an accidental groan at her actions. Is your pulse point an erogenous zone?
I think so.
Really?
To some people.
Huh. Well, so what is your pulse point?
Like
I assume that's where you put your finger to... I didn't know it was actually called that, though. And I especially didn't know it was an erogenous
I think there's
zone.
a lot of pulse points, I think
there's a lot of erogenous zones.
Clearly, like every part of your body, depending on who you are.
I let out an accidental groan at her actions. I always knew you were a whore. Rachel sucks the skin of my neck into her mouth, marking me harshly.
I just really, all the way off.
Yeah, laser alive with her mouth. That would be pretty cool. That would be a cool clone power. What are you doing? I yell at her. She shushes me and starts kissing down my chest. Tell me what you know, Rachel orders. I already told you nothing. Holy shite, I curse as she sucks one of my nipples into her mouth. I feel disgusted in myself and feel my body starts to react to her as it starts to get aroused.
This is real bad, man.
No, Rachel, stop, I order her, but she just bites down on the nipple in her mouth, making me throw my head back and groan. She spends a while sucking and biting that nipple, making...
That nipple.
You darn nipple. Making a few moans and groans fall out of my mouth before she pulls away. Are you going to tell me now? She asks. I take a deep breath, trying to... I thought she already spilled everything. I don't understand what's going on. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself before I answer. I already did. She bites down hard on the other nipple. So hard she draws blood and makes me jerk on my restraints. She plays with that nipple harsher than she did the other one, and I whimper from the pleasure trying to overthrow towards my body.
Big breasts hyphenated.
For a few minutes it continues like that, her switching between both nipples until they are swollen from all the attention, and I am a shaking mess. Do you have an answer now? She's already answered you, like, several times. She asks as she twists both my nipples at once. I moan lowly and shake my head no. Part of me wishes she would pull out the blade again. That would be less humiliating. You must be really mad at your body, Rachel teases. I mean, look at how it's betraying you. She runs a finger across a hard nipple. You're, no apostrophe, and with an E, though, however, so aroused. She growls.
That's closer.
I do.
Sort of.
It's two steps forward, one step back, really. I turn my head to hide my face in my arm out of embarrassment, because, yes, my body is betraying me. I can feel the heat building in between, one word, my legs. You know what to do to make this stop. Tell what you know, and who else knows about it, she whispers in my ear. Fuck you, I grind out. Rachel leans back laughing. No, Sarah, fuck you. She starts...
This whole story was written just to use that line.
She starts kissing down my stomach, biting down on my hip bones, and settling... I'm biting down on my hip bones and settling between my legs. I start shaking my head back and forth, murmuring no, no, no over and over again.
It's like the angry cat.
Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Cut all this. You don't know the angry cat.
I guess not.
The funniest home videos. It's like this cat and it's real upset about something. And it's like, oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know
The
that.
funniest thing in the world to me. And that's all I'm hearing.
All you have to do is tell me, Rachel sings songs. I shake my head, resigning myself to my fate, making myself realize that, yes, I am going to be fucked by Rachel Duncan, the pro clone. I feel Rachel biting at my inner thighs and know my body will be covered in them.
Covered in her thighs.
Apparently. I can't... Pronouns, man. They make a mess out of fucking everything. Who designed English? Because they needed to go back to pronoun class before they made this language.
I can't breathe.
I can feel the blush on my cheeks and on my chest heaving from the heavy breaths I am taking. I head lolls back, and a rather loud moan leaves me as Rachel slides a hand up my slit, bumping my clit. That rhyming better than 90% of that poem. You are so wet, you must be loving this. I shake my head, even as moans fall out of my mouth when she circles my clit with her thumb. Rachel chuckles and slips 2 fingers inside of me, making a small scream come out of me. It makes it sound like these noises are all like crawling their way.
Falling out. Yeah.
Are you going to tell me now, Sarah? Rachel pumps her finger at a hard but uneven pace, never letting me get used to a rhythm with no H. No, I moan out, finding it hard to get the words out at the time. My body writhes on the small cot, my back arching against it, my toes curling, my fists clenching and unclenching. I am in an embarrassing, torturous ecstasy. Neither of those words are spelled correctly, by the way.
I imagine that was the case.
My moans turn into wails. I said walls. Sorry. My moans turn into wails as she starts curling her fingers with every thrust of her hand. And I think in my head, she must have... Ugh, God. Ugh. That's the grossest.
Grosser than panties with a Y apostrophe S.
They're running first and second. It's a dead eat. She must have done this before. I cry out as I feel my stomach clenching and my walls tighten, knowing that I am close. And Rachel must feel it too, because she pulls out of me right before I fall over the edge. I whimper at the loss of sensation, and I start doing the one thing I never thought I would do before. Rachel, please. Frustrated tears run down my face. Please what? Rachel asks, smirking. Don't, I gulp. Don't stop. The rational part of my brain is screaming at me, this isn't no apostrophe right. You don't want this, but I can't no apostrophe hear it much. Don't stop what, Sarah? That one actually has an apostrophe in it. I don't know why. I whimper when I realize what she wants me to say, and I know that if I say it, she will win. I battle with myself for a moment before sighing. Please don't stop fucking me, Rachel, please. I beg her in tears. Tell me then, who else knows about Project Lita, Rachel asks. She runs a finger up my slit. Cosima and Felix, I cry. A part of me can't, with no apostrophe, believe I'm being so submissive. What else do you know, she asks. I know about the patent and about the professors and the clone disease, I admit to her. Is that all? She whispers in my ear. Yes, that's no apostrophe it. Now, please. I beg once again. Good girl. She lowers her head down, and I don't get to think about what's no apostrophe happening until it's no apostrophe already begun.
This is such a train wreck.
Her taungi is only. And it's no apostrophe, so warm and so nice. This
is real
like
nice.
A fourth grader describing sex. She swirls it around my clit for a while, flicking it, rubbing it, switching constantly. I whimper and moan as she continues her assault on me. Shite! I groan when she plunges her tongue into my entrance, her head bobbing as she fucks me. I can feel the clenching in my stomach come back, and I hear my moans get louder. My head is filled with nothing but pleasure as my body writhes from it. She moves a hand up and starts furiously rubbing at my clit when I start to feel my body come undone. First I go completely still and tense as the clenching in my stomach tightens. Then I arch my back with a scream as the tension releases. I shake and wail as a powerful orgasm takes over my entire body. Then Rachel replaces her tongue with her fingers, pumping in and out of me, curling to hit my G-spot, and I scream again. Tears streak my face as my second orgasm washes through me, but it still doesn't no apostrophe stop. By the time the third one hits me, I am sobbing so loud I'm pretty sure Daniel can hear it outside. After that one, it stops. She stands up from the cot, wipes her mouth, and smooths out her clothes. What will your cow think about this, she smirks. How do you know that name, I yell at her. She just walks out the door and locks it behind her, leaving me naked, worn out, and tied up on the bed. This was only the first day of my imprisonment. So,
wow.
Apparently there's going to be a lot more of that.
Oh, man. I'm, literally crying.
Pretty sexy. Wasn't the worst written thing ever, except for all the
really?
apostrophe.
Wasn't it?
Except for all the lack of apostrophe. If you excise those, we definitely read worse.
Fine.
If you forget about the apostrophes. And it's totally in universe, all makes sense, and it's clone-on-clone action. So that, I think, puts a great point on what we've been building to this whole episode. There's been so little Femslash on Slash and Burn so far, partially because there's so little of it in the grand scheme of things, and secondly because it's way too good.
Yeah.
It's way too good.
If I would come across it in my research, I'd be like, this is too good. There's nothing I can get out of this that I can't get out of, blue buns.
This last one was the most embarrassing thing that I really found, and it really, except for the apostrophes, it really wasn't that bad. So it seems that most of the great erotic fanfiction writing is being done in girl-girl style. I was curious if you agree.
Yeah, I do.
It totally seems that way.
I'm impressed. What can I say?
Yeah, really. Man.
Yeah. I thought this was not going to be as funny an episode, but I
had a good time.
I'm crying, so...
I hope the people listening had a good time. If you're one of those people listening, thank you for listening to Slash and Burn. We hope you enjoyed, everybody, and especially Hayley, also. Yeah. Thanks again for writing into us.
Yep.
Anyone else who wants to be mentioned as many times as Hayley was in this episode, you can write to us too. Either T-mail or Twitter. Either email or Twitter works. Email slashandburnpod@gmail.com. Twitter is @slashandburnpod. My Twitter is @procrastinarian. Yours is @Empress Kira V, Kira with a Y. So yeah, if you write to us, we'll probably even tailor our next episode for you.
Man, we are excited about fans, and this is proof.
Yeah, not only that, but we've got a million things to go through, so it's not really going to hurt us to go to whatever thing you are into next or whatever. So yeah, get it on the ground floor before we're so flooded with fan mail that we can't possibly keep doing that.
Yep. Definitely, that's going to happen.
Also, rate and review us on iTunes if you can. That would be cool. Buy yourself a Microsoft Surface Pro 3 and then tell them that Slash and Burn podcast.
We've gotten through so much of this episode without you mentioning that Surface.
Yeah, you have anything else to add before we head off?
I mean, basically, feel the same way. This was all very, in the grand scheme of things, good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was...
If we're grading on a curve, if we're
Yeah.
grading fan fiction on a curve,
Like, this is like...
Femslash gets the easy A so far
yeah.
by a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised and disappointed, I gotta say. If that makes any sense. So, yeah, my horizons are broadened.
I agree. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Maybe I'll do that ski-free poem. It's too short to do a bonus episode, so maybe we'll just play it at the end here. If our producer/editor hasn't murdered himself before this episode gets published.
This one's bad, man.
It really is.
I really enjoyed the interlude where your dad was ordering things on Amazon.
Yeah, for like 25 minutes. Yeah. But anyway, this has been Slash and Burn. I've been Steve.
I'm Kera.
Also, go Eagles or I'll end up killing myself.
Don't talk about sports.
Bye, everybody.